Here with race three's winner, Matt Meany off Swell. Well done, mate. Talk us through the tough day that it was.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, our first race, pretty tough race. We went out left and ended up very deep. Made up for it in the second race. Started out off the boat and just worked the right-hand side and top three around the top mark, and then just kicked it from there.
Your first win in 16-foot skiff nationals?
Yeah, had to win the last nationals, but unfortunately that one got called off, so making up for it. So first official win.
January 2024 for the Australian 16-foot skiff and 13-foot skiff national titles hosted by the St George Sailing Club. I'm Jimmy Bury, and joining me in commentary today is Andrew Dolly Devola and Clint Bowen at the Bozo. Welcome back, brother.
Thank you, mate. Good afternoon, Jimmy and viewers. Good to be here.
It's got a bit of a different day to yesterday, Dol, where we had not much breeze, lots of rain flicking about. And today, what's the weather got for us? What's it got in store for us today, Dol?
Well, yesterday, obviously for those who watched yesterday, we had a very difficult day of changing wind direction and rain and quite unpredictable wind, and we did a lot of sitting around and we had to talk a lot of, do a lot of filling in. But today's another day. We've had a southerly come through this morning. Was a bit early, came through a bit earlier than was expected and forecast, which made me think that it would start to get a little bit of east in it and start to dissipate a little. But what we're seeing out here at the moment you're seeing the fire stopping there on screen, lit up and going downwind. We're still getting gusts up to around 20 knots out here at the moment. But I'm expecting it as the afternoon goes on to slowly, maybe we'll probably see some holes in the breeze, and I'll expect whoever can stay in the pressure will make the gains. We did a bit of a park walk just before we boarded the boat, and there was lots of people asking what I thought, and they had big decisions to make, and from what I can see, most of the fleet that we're looking at the moment have gone for the little rig. I did say to some of the bigger guys that, you could put the big rig in, and if you can lump it upwind, you're going to be super quick downwind, and by race two, if that breeze dies, they would have a distinct advantage. But at the moment, I can't see anyone that's had the courage and conviction to take that on. So we will see what happens in the next. We'll probably be out here for 2 hours, and I can't see it being 20 knots for the next 2 hours. What do you think, Clint?
Mate, firstly, I just want to say I'm glad it's blowing today, because I don't have the brain cells, the great brain cells, to actually commentate for 2 hours when the breeze is so light. So well done, you boys yesterday.
You could definitely talk though, Bozo, so that's why we got you out here today.
Yeah,
mate.
but I don't think anyone will listen to me.
Well, so if you were sailing the fluid today, mate, what rig do you think you would have put in?
Oh, geez, it'd be a toss-up. I think if the rest of the fleet went second rig, you'd have to go second rig, especially you're walking around the park and looking at the competition. You'd sort of want to match them. But it's sort of shaping up to be one of those top fueler days, where it's just flat out, and if you did have the big rig on and you had some horsepower, you'd actually be backing yourself today, I think.
Yeah, so if you're swinging a couple of decent crew...
180, 200 kilos on the wire.
Yeah, and that's sort of the message I was talking to the guys about. But as you say, a lot to play for today. We've got 2 races. There's a lot of people with some big scores that just need to bank some good numbers. So you don't want to take too many risks this early in the regatta. So you go with what your opposition's got, and who knows, we might see someone who's down the leaderboard roll the dice and come race 2, if they've got the big rig in, they might get a win up. But from what I can see, it's looking like all little rigs out here, right?
And speaking of such, we just had Sudley on the TV, and they're 2 big boys, and they've got the second rig in. So obviously, they're banking against a major disaster.
Yeah, so Sarah in a very good position in the regatta at the moment. You're not going to take any risks.
You'll take no risks.
No risks at all. But for boats who are back in the fleet a bit, they could take their chances, but it doesn't look like anyone's had the courage to do that.
And talking about Sarah and her good form, we might as well take the opportunity to have a look at the results so far. We'll get them up on the screen for the 16-foot skiffs we'll start with. And first, you have Imagine Signage. Nathan Wilmot still hasn't won a race, but been very consistent. Second, you got Southerly. Third, Sail Racing. Fourth, Sutec Building Consultants. Those boys they'll be over the moon.
I'll be cheering.
Fourth place with a 10-10-11.
Yep.
Consistent.
Then CJK Design from Belmont. Skelcon, Henry Macon following in 6th. 7, Moon and Yachts. 8th, Dominoes. 9th, Fluid. 10, Swell Racing. And then we'll have a quick look at the 13s on scratch. Ebix, Gemma Hopkins, quite a great lead on 6 points with 3 seconds. Second is Sail Media. Third, Fluid. Fourth, Bartley Construction. Fifth, Cybertech Group. Sixth, Harkin, which, considering, I think they didn't finish the first race, Dole, so
that's correct.
they're going quite well. Then you got Plonk Cafe. 8th is Bigfoot Bags and Covers. 9th is QED, and 10th is Botany Scaffold. And then also what we do have, just for the viewers at home, who's leading what else? You have on the handicap for the 16-foot skiffs. You have Fire Stopping leading from Little Blue Dinosaur. 1 point difference there at the moment. It's still very early in the piece to sort of be watching that one.
Fire Stopping.
Absolutely. Good bait, that one.
Not only that, Jimmy, but Alex Hart works for Fluid. We're joining together, mate, after all these years.
After all these years, we've finally come together, Bozo. In the, what have we got? The first female, you got Southerly Sarah Lee. She's
obviously
leading that. Then in the Masters, there's only 3, but Ross Stoochbury on the Pepsi Max is leading that from the Belmont Club. In the youth, you got Swell Racing. Matt Meaney from the Belmont Club's leading that at the moment. So there's still a lot to play for. Then in the 13-foot skiffs on handicap, you got QED is leading that one. And the female, obviously, Gemma on the Ebix is leading that one. So there's all the other little subcategories that everyone's out to play for. But still probably a little bit early after only 3 races to sort of be starting to count chickens in those departments.
Yeah, and the big thing today, Jimmy, obviously, is if we get 2 races away today, which I'm pretty confident we're going to. I can't see this breeze going anywhere. The start line's just open. If we get the 2 races in today, then a discard will come into play. And a lot of the boats who either broke gear, didn't finish in the first race yesterday, boats like Noakes, who yesterday had an OCS, they get to discard those worst scores. So we'll see some big movement in the leaderboards once that discard comes into play.
Just had a look there at Noakes. Noakes section, they're sporting
Noakes
the big rig there.
Noakes Blue, that
Noakes
is.
Blue.
Ryan Ewings. Okay? Now, Jimmy and I know who is Ryan Ewings' mentor and who Ryan Ewings works for, and that is one David Witt. And if Ryan's been talking to Witty this morning, he would have got one message, and that would have been big rigs win big races, mate. So
Witty would be a very proud man.
He would indeed, and hopefully we can see Ryan push that thing around the track and have a great day today.
And if you're not sure about that, go and type into YouTube, after this, of course, Nokia heavy wind sailing, if you want to see some
Auckland.
fantasy.
In Auckland?
Fabulous.
Auckland in the 18-footers and David Witt's finest moment.
Can someone explain to me, with the Masters, what makes a Masters crew?
Total of...
I think the three of us would qualify.
I think it's a total
So
of...
all bastards.
I think it's a total of 150.
A total of 150,
Is that right, Jimmy, I think?
Mate, your guess is as good as mine. We'll make it up as we go.
Right. So we're somewhere around that, 150 years total on the boat.
Right. Well, I think with Mal Page on the Imagine, they qualify, but obviously with Jack on there, they drop out of that qualification.
Right.
So I know, so it's got to be close to somewhere around that.
Because I remember when we were sailing, there was probably 10 of them here. So because we've only got Pepsi Max, Lee and Manflu, does that mean that we're losing our old guys and more young people are coming through?
No, I think they just know what's happening on Friday.
I think the older guys are just getting younger crews.
Right, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Hedging their bets.
And for those who've never seen the Veterans Trophy, it's a beautiful timber plaque with a walking stick mounted on it. Very nice trophy.
There's Cunningham's that had a reasonable day yesterday, considering how light and shifty it was. They sort of snuck away with two half-decent results yesterday.
So that's Nick Connor on the helm with Paulie Sausage McKenzie and Tom Quigley. Tom Quigley has stepped in for this regatta and from what I've seen so far is doing a great job.
He sails on Shore and Partners with Emma Rankin and Cam McDonald in the 18-footers.
So strategising on this course here, Dol, what are we thinking?
For me, mate, you wouldn't want to go anywhere right of centre. If this breeze is going to shift anywhere, it will go slightly left, and if it's going to go left, you want to be on the left side of the course. And for me, most of the pressure will come through. We're not looking up. We're looking up at the docks there. But if we look to the south, there's some lower areas in the landform that usually get the breeze coming through up towards Towra. And yeah, I'd be going middle to the left myself, Clint. What would you think?
I would agree with you. I think it's shaping up to be, like I said, a top fielder day, as the Belmont boys would say. And I'd say there's going to be a race out to the corner.
Yeah.
In saying that, I think it's the guys that can generate as much pace as possible. It's not so much a strategy day. It's a boat race day.
Yeah. Yeah, I said to both of my kids, start down towards the pin if you can, if it's an even line, and put your foot down and get to that left-hand side lay line as quick as you can. Don't worry about height, just go like a rocket.
Just send it.
Just send it.
There's a 5-minute gun.
And I'll guarantee they won't execute that plan. Because what would Dad know?
Yeah.
For this first work, we can rule the tide out. It's probably as slack as it's going to be all day. Low
That's
is
right.
at 2 o'clock. So
yeah. So we're in the 5-minute sequence has begun. Was the hooter that you probably just heard over the audio.
So the first day you gave me a tip. I only got one tip. Thanks very much, guys. You got 3, and I picked the fluid, and poor old fluid had a little bit of a problem downwind. Today, who are the top fuelers?
Yeah, we actually didn't do this yesterday, so we didn't really put the mocker on anyone yesterday. We neglected to do that. Yeah, I'm thinking a couple of the boats that are in a little bit of, that's 4 minutes, folks. So a couple of the boats that are in a little bit of strife on the point score at the moment, like Moonan, Noakes, they're both carrying some bigger numbers. Imey, unfortunately, yesterday they banked a 37. They'll be looking forward to getting rid of that. And if I was to back one today, I like, and you're just seeing them right now, coincidentally, there's Modern Concept Construction. So everyone out here except for Noakes Youth are little rig, and Modern Concept Constructions have a slightly bigger second rig than the rest of the fleet, and that might work to their advantage today, I think. And let's throw Noakes Youth in because they've got the big rig in, right?
Totally.
I'm giving them full kudos for courage.
Absolutely. And looking at the breeze here, it looks like it's just lightening off a little bit.
And I've just put the mocker on 5 boats there, so
Well done.
Well done. And you didn't mention fluid, and I won't either.
too late, you just did. So who are you picking, Clint?
Look, I definitely think Moonan's going to be fast today, and SKE, and I have been very impressed with, is it the young guys with Milko on board, the CJK, with Derby steering. Those boys have just been the quad achievers.
They have been indeed.
And I noticed they're out of the jerseys for the handicap, but I think they're going to be right in there.
They've been sailing exceptionally well for the first 3 days here, and it's when I was speaking to Gilzo before the regatta, he was saying, sort of a new combination, not really confident. He definitely pulled the wool over my eyes, that's for sure. So,
and credit to Milko too, because he's been sailing with Piper for many years, and he's made the decision to help some young guys out, and I think that's what it's all about. And he's obviously making a big influence.
And I do know that Darby's dad, Darren Jones, is over in Pretoria in South Africa at the moment, and he's been watching the regatta and keeping tabs on how Derby's going. So, g'day, Daz. And yesterday, geez, Jimmy, we neglected to wish Matty Waters a happy birthday.
Is he 70?
Yeah, I don't know.
How are you, Matty? I know you're watching.
I don't think he's even 50, is he?
No, he's still only a pup.
But yeah, happy birthday for yesterday, Matty.
There's a couple of suspects back at the club too that you got to avoid later on, Dole, being Perry and Cub.
Oh dear. Okay.
So I'll show you the back way out.
1 minute. Here we go. There we are. How are you liking where fluid is there, Clint? Stepped out mid-line.
I actually like him at the moment.
Not too bad, eh?
It's a good mix actually. There's a bit at the boat end, and there's a whole lot of the good guys at the pin end.
So we've got red pumps right down at the pin, advance.
It's red pumps red.
Red pumps red, yep.
And a lot of these starts, I mean, right now on a day like this, you've got to get off the line, and you're looking around. If you're a boat, first thing I'd look around is finding a boat that I felt was sympathetic to the way I sailed. So if I wanted to go, I wanted a boat below me that could foot, or I wanted, say, Matt Triggerline above.
Top end of the line, we've got Noakes Youth with the big rig. We've got SKE, we've got Tugara and Cunningham's. There's some pretty good boats up this
red
end of the line.
Red are going to have to go around down the pin there, Dol.
They're over. I reckon we're going to get a recall here, Jimmy, myself.
Imagine signage.
What are we going? Are we going general or individual?
Individual.
Individual recall. So definitely boats down at the pin end. Definitely one of them was red pumps red. Who was the other one? We just listened to the radio. We're just waiting for some confirmation on who that might have been. Excellent start, SKE Electrical up towards the boat end. They're stepping out nicely with good height and good speed.
And that's one boat we probably neglected there. That first race, they showed excellent pace in the first 2 laps.
Oh, most definitely. Well, you mentioned, you gave them a mention, didn't you?
I did, but I wasn't as...
You weren't that confident.
I wasn't that confident on them. I thought maybe it's lightening a little bit for them.
Well, this race is a long way from over yet, but yeah, young Banjo Nicholson in the SKE, away to a great start, boat end, and he's in a clear lane now. He can actually put his bow down a little bit and go fast.
So the three boats that were over were Imagine Signage, which went back. Red Pumps Red went back. Sunshine Noakes was the other boat that they identified as over, still hasn't returned. So there's the that's the latest from the start boat for you.
Copy, Jimmy. Not good news for the
Travellers.
the fans, the Queensland fans, I'm afraid. But
And it's good to see the Queenslanders here. Big shout out to the Queenslanders. My good mate, and I'm a good mate, Rob Watson. Done a lot for the Queensland class.
the stalwart of the Queensland class, indeed he was. So you can see, Imagine there, they're actually in not too bad a shape considering they had to go back and restart. Both them and Red Pumps got it over and done with very quickly. They knew they were over. Sometimes boats will step out a bit far and it's a long way to get back and very expensive. But yeah, Imagine straight back into the throng, and they're in pretty good company with Eric Storage and Lee Napton's Noakes in close quarters. Bit behind them is CJK.
And that's the good thing about these. The good boats will just get straight into there. They have a problem, they get straight into it, and before you know it, the top mark, they're in the top 5, 10, they're back in the game.
Calm.
And you got 3 laps to
make your ground.
Yeah, to get it back. So you know you don't have to get it all back before the first top mark.
Yeah, and this race is decent length beat too. That top mark's quite a long way up. It's looking about 1.4, I'd be guessing.
1.25.
1.25. Well, you know, my eyesight's not perfect, but 0.2 within 0.2 is not a bad estimate, is it?
Not bad for your old eyes, Tom.
Not bad. So yeah, 3 laps of that, it's going to be a decent race. And looking at the course at the moment, you're probably seeing on your screens there, there's now, we're not seeing the white caps we were before. And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking it's about 15, 16 knots out here.
So here's an interesting cross with Cunningham's just crossing the SKE here. They're
Cunningham's motoring there.
motoring.
You can see Sutek and Contender Sailcloth there along with Tagara. They're just ducking back. They needed to clear their air a little, so they're just ducking back. Surprisingly, a lot of these boats are going up the middle. Can't see on screen at the moment, but we've got a large group of boats that heeded Clint's and my advice, and they've motored out to that left-hand side, and they'll be looking for that port lay back towards the top mark. So when these two fleets converge, it's going to be interesting to see how it stacks up. At the moment in the right, we're looking left side at the moment, so that's where we wanted to see. You can see pretty large number of boats are going to that extreme left. We've got a lot of top boats like Sail Racing, Southerly, MCR,
Your pick
Concept.
And the Noakes Blues out that way too, I believe.
Yeah, and I was a bit surprised where Noakes Blues started actually. They started right up at the boat end, and with that big rig I would have been looking for the pin, and so you could put the bow down and just go fast
away.
Yeah, yeah.
Get out of Dodge as quick as you can.
We're looking at Noakes there now.
So there's a few St George boats out to the left there, Dolly.
There is, yeah, a bit of local knowledge. But at the same time, in the hard right, we've got guns like Imagine Signage, and then coming back to the right again, we've got Cunningham's and Fluid. SKE also in the hard right with Tagara. So Bella Group, yesterday's winners, and CJK all in this right-hand group. So it's going to be whether they can find a line of pressure that's lifting to get back onto starboard and start coming back. Imagine Signage have decided to tack, and they're on their way back on starboard tack.
Here comes Amy coming back across from the right. They look like they're just behind Fluid here in this cross.
You'll see how this lineup goes.
And it's starting to get a bit patchy. So, you know, there's obviously some good gusts here, but they just got to try and stay in that pressure. They're going to be balancing now between pressure and angle.
Yeah, another boat that's looking good here at the moment is Ace, who they've been one of the boats that I won't say they're a surprise packet, but we didn't know a whole lot about Ace. I've heard about they've been doing very well in the club racing, and they're showing really good pace so far this regatta and sailing the boat extremely well. And so far, as in regard to the right-hand group, for my money, they're leading the right-hand group.
They are. We're wrong, Dylan, for the minute.
Yeah. Just for now.
I'd say Ace are leading this. Ace on picture now.
Definitely leading the right-hand group.
And in good pressure, heading over for these shallows.
Yeah, just coming into a really good line. That's Ace you've got on screen there at the moment. They just got into some pressure. You see they've put the bow down a little. They're swinging hard and they've accelerated out, going like a rocket at the moment. But they are down on height, so that pressure is headed, interestingly, on this side of the course.
Good sign for the next tack.
It is, yeah. They don't want to go too far because that can dissipate. Next thing you're lifting and you'll go, wow, that was a bit late. But we're looking at a big height differential at the moment between Ace and SKE, that's for sure. The Fluid boys looking good over there, Clint.
Yeah, they're not going too bad. It looks like it's all holding together and the boys are all still on the boat. That's a good sign.
You can see them there in the top of your picture with the dark black coloured sails.
They're about to run into a nice one here. Hopefully they've just put the bow down as well. They're following Ace in.
Yeah, so once again, that pressure's coming through and the pressure is right-hand pressure, so it's pretty much true south when these puffs are coming through. And you can see the landform there. That's what I was talking about before. You can see the low points in the sand dunes and the scrub there. So the breeze finds it a lot easier when you get up to this top end of the course.
So Ace tack there, we've got a cross. Yeah, it's a real close cross there between Fluid and Ace.
Yeah, so as we said, Ace leading this right-hand group. The left-hand groups have a very long fetch on port to get back. And it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out when we get back. And yeah, Ace still once again, they're going to take another tack back. Ace have gone back for more. They were on quite a big header there, and there's some pressure coming. So they've tacked over because they started to knock. So they've tacked onto a lift, and it's lifting pressure at the moment. But at some point, they've got to find a lane to get back, don't they?
They do. And now looking at the two, you know, they're down a bit of pressure on the right. The guys in the left are actually lifting and are in good pressure.
They're big time high over there.
Yeah.
Not far off this top mark for the first time, so.
There's a run up there in your boat, MCM, leading the charge there.
Yeah, modern concept construction that we thought would be doing well in this breeze. And Jared Smith, he loves a bit of tactical sailing. He's in a very good position along with Skelcon. And a leeward of them, Zoe Dransfield in the Botany Access.
Yep.
So
we'll just get the camera to come around that way, Dolph. So.
Yeah, Ryan Ewings is over in that group as well. So I'm thinking they're going to get there first, are they, Clint?
You reckon left hand's going to pay?
Well, I'm hoping they are because we both picked that side, didn't we? And I hate being made a fool of.
Lucky I didn't get asked to pick a side.
Well, you actually look, if we scan a little bit further right, old Skillcon there, their red pumps there, they're on a massive lift out there.
Yeah.
They're the furthest step to the left.
And they need a good result, Clint.
They need a good result,
yeah. They had a 30-something in the Heat 2 yesterday, or the first heat yesterday, so.
Yeah, you can see them there now, so red pumps on the right of your screen, but I'm thinking if they're not on a ley line, they might be overstood a bit. We're not quite in line yet, but oh no, they're looking okay. I think they've picked that ley line quite nicely, Tyler. But I still think these other boats are advanced on them
Which is always the risk of going to the corners. You want to go to the corner, you don't want to go too far.
You want to shift. You get a shift and overstand, and you've thrown away the advantage that you just got.
Correct.
Because you've sailed more distance. But personally, I'd like to be where Modern Concept and Skelcon are, but they've just started to head a little bit, and if I were them, I'd be just taking a little dip back over to this eastern ley line while they've got a header, because otherwise they're just sailing over towards that the right-hand pack that's coming in, and they'll lose a little bit of that advantage. But yeah, they've kind of converged, and the boats that are coming in from the right, leading that group, SKE Electrical, you'll see them come into shot now, and they're going to cross. There they are now. They've crossed those mid boats from the left. So as it's turned out, we've had boats sail to opposite sides of the course, and they've come out nearly even. So, but a few more of the boats that are they've come out of the left side. They've done a little bit better, I think. As we were talking about before, we've got Red Pumps, Tyler Dransfield. He's a little bit overstood, but he's picked that ley line beautifully, and they're coming in like a freight train. Look at that. Yeah. Greg Winder swinging it down. They've got really good trim. That setup's looking beautiful, and they are motoring up.
I think we can give ourselves a high five here, Dog.
Left side.
Left side.
Left side.
Left side, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not by much. There's only a couple of metres, but a couple of metres.
Yeah, no, they're going to have about a 5 boat length advantage over SKE here, and they're the two boats that went to the extremes of both sides. So really interesting how that worked out. So we've got Tyler Dransfield round first in Red Pumps. Then we've got Banjo Nicholson in SKE Electrical, followed by Tugara, Tommy Clout. Great first work from Tom.
And what do we say here about Imagine? They were over at the start, they went back, and they are going around this top mark in 5th. Amazing effort, guys.
Yeah, Skelcon, Imagine, Moonan, Daniel Turner.
There's your pick.
Yeah, Jared Smith in Modern Concept Constructions, and the Fluid Clint. Happy days, eh?
Happy days, boys. Let's go.
Swell coming in. They'll be next around. They had a great race win yesterday. Really happy for those guys, and I'm sure the Belmont crowd were cheering. Ace that we were talking about, and Jimmy's smiling too, because there's the fire stopping. Great beat from Alex Hart and the boys. Dominoes, Imey having a better day. They'll be next around with Sarah Lee and Southerly hot on their heels.
So suddenly I've got a bit of work to do, but...
and they've just done a little body drag.
Just put the mocker on and wait for the spinnaker up and then on wire before you say any more, Baser.
Imey with an early jibe out from the top mark. So Hugh Stoddart might think there's a bit more pressure in the left-hand side looking downwind.
Interestingly, Moonan sort of jibed about the same time as them, just downwind.
Downwind, yep.
Fluid have followed them out.
Sutek and Sail Racing, Eric Storage a little bit deeper today. They'll be looking for a bit more than that. Sutek has a very small rig by the looks of it. So,
and here's Noakes going around with a big rig. You'd think that their big
Noakes
rig on downhill will be a great advantage. Yeah,
the supercharger that you need.
Truck through them.
Hoist the Wampa. Nick Connor and the Cunninghams boys and NFPG a little deeper than they'd probably like to be, but there's plenty of race course left here yet. This is going to be a long race. There's plenty of room to make gains. Bruce Savage chasing Outback Marine, followed by Joel Beechel in the NHS. They also have a very small little rig by the looks of it.
Not a great set on the NFPG.
CJK a little deep for where they would like to be, I'd imagine. We're just going to head down course a little. And see if we can catch up with with a few of the leaders. Eric Storage on screen there with Noakes, Lee Napton just looking to try and squeeze over the top of them, and so he's got a bit of a clearer runway to make some gains. Sail Racing to leeward of them, and Contender Sailcloth giving chase from behind. And I think that's Moonin out in front of that little pack, followed by Fluid. So Daniel Turner on the moon, and he'll be really trying to make some big gains today, and one of the ones to watch for sure.
So we're following the left-hand boats downhill. I mean, you know, in normal racing, I'd be going the same way downhill as I came uphill if it paid.
Yeah.
So these guys have taken it out to the left rather than go to the right as we're facing downhill. For my money at the moment, the right boats look like they're going great down there.
Yeah,
same pressure.
So left upwind was good, and right downwind at the moment looks like it's paying. So like we said, that looked like the better side of the course. I think there's a bit more pressure over on that side, but we'll see what the washout is when we get down to the bottom.
And it's not that fresh. I mean, these guys will be working the boat a lot, you know, trying to chase every runner here. They'll be trying to keep it flat up, like the first day when they're standing in the back of the bus. They'll be working hard here.
Yeah, this is going to be the next race is going to be particularly tough, I think. And we'll see if that big rig selection for Ryan Ewings can pay off down the track. He's a little sort of not mid-fleet so far, but yeah, there's a 3-lap race and we've still got another race to go.
So you can see Moonin and Fluid have stepped back now. They're going to the right. They've seen that the advantage is in the right, and they're going back there now, trying to find that pressure to take them back there.
Yeah, the boats that went over further, they've actually picked up some ground, and these boats that we're looking at, they have jibed onto a bit of pressure. So they're trying to take that bit of pressure back to their opposition.
Currently looking at the leaders here on SKE.
Yeah, SKE just taking a jibe.
And Tugara.
Very good run from Tom Clout and the boys on Tagara. Local St George crew. The key for them is going to be staying in this pressure. Be interesting to see if they put a jibe on top of SKE here or continue. Looks like SKE with starboard advantage actually had to just head up a little bit there. They might have been doing a Jimmy Spithill trying to make it look a bit worse than it was. And now Tom's going to jibe, go back with them on that gust. In good company with Fluid and Moonin. But SKE, Banjo Nicholson took them, sort of won that minor battle. And now it looks like SKE are coming across to converge with, I think it's Ace, and cross easily in front of Imagine, but Imagine starting to make some inroads into these guys.
Well, after being over at the start, it's like even where Imagine's got back to, you're still going, right, that's a keeper, just play it sensible from here.
Yeah, very good comeback, Jimmy.
And look, at front of the fleet, you've got some options. You can now, you know, work on the gas. You know, back of the fleet, you tend to get pushed around a bit.
Yeah. You can't go to the places that you want to go. Your tactics are being determined by the boats that are around you.
Correct.
So here comes Tom and the boys. They're going to get into this gate first. Looks like they're going to take the... Are they going to drive drop, or are they going to drop? They're going to drop, I think, and take the left-hand turn, while SKE and Skelcon take the right-hand turn.
And Moonin's fighting hard there to get up to the right-hand turn, Mark.
Yeah, and MCC with the spinnaker chute, they're going to slap a jibe in here, I reckon, and do the quick douse and get inside them. Here we go. MCC with the white chute, you'll just see it disappear down the bow, just like that.
Fluid's gone too deep there. They're not giving them any tactical manoeuvres at this mark.
Ace could be a big
Ace
problem
is in
here.
a lot of trouble here, and let's hope they don't flip over into MCC. No, they're all good. Now they've got to avoid Moonan, because Moonan's on starboard.
Red Pumps lost their way down that run.
They did a bit, didn't they? Yeah. And in fact, Red Pumps Red getting through the gate before them. Bruce Savage and
No, that's Eric's
Oh, it's
storage.
Eric. Sorry, mate. I'm looking at the red stripe.
So a swell, Ace, Fluid, a few boats caught below the gate. Whether or not it was a late shift, but it's probably a little unacceptable to sort of get yourself that low.
It's a bit messy.
It's very messy, Dom.
Look at the gains on the big blue chute there on the left of screen.
Yeah,
It's the notes blue.
They better get it down, though. They're about to go around the mark. Here we go.
So we're probably, what, 12 knots now?
Yeah, it's really dying.
You can see a lot of the crews are actually struggling now to hold 2 out. They're crouched.
Sarah Lee just had to put a little dig in there. She was in a bit of a bingle, bit of a mess, and now she's going to tack out of there again. Stuck behind Ryan Ewings. Coming in, we're looking at the left-hand turn mark there. You're looking at Nozomi and Sutek dropping their spinnakers there to take the left-hand turn.
And it's going to be a double whammy for them uphill now, because their little rig's on, breeze is dying, they'll have little boards in too.
Yeah.
Not much to leverage off, is there?
Not much to leverage off. So guys like Ryan on Noakes Blue should really get some advantage here.
Yeah, well, he's still got 2 laps, right?
And the lead isn't that far away for him.
No,
It's
this race
definitely
this
in
race
reach.
is a long way
in
for
striking.
So what I would suggest what Ryan needs to do is find a clear lane, put his bow down, and go just go like a freight train. Because while you're bound up in a lineup, you can't utilise that rig to its full advantage.
So big group going out to the left, not so big group going to the right.
Yeah, it's kind of been determined by which side of the gate they've taken, and yeah, I think more have taken the right-hand turn, starboard turn.
Although the boat that has gone hard out to the right is Imagine Signage.
Well, what would a gold medalist
Would you bet
know?
against him?
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. That's for sure. Yeah, and he did okay out there on the last beat too. So
Interesting there. 11-teen just did 2 jibes now, like trying to get down to this left-hand bottom mark and now going to the right-hand mark. So
yeah, they're easily confused, Jimmy. Mid regatta, they need a bit of sleep. Forward hand just getting that last bit tucked away.
CJK, after you gave Gilzo the big
Gave
rap,
them the credit, yeah.
see what happens,
I know,
Bozo?
say nothing, I know.
Yeah, they've got a bit going on there, haven't
Trying to go uphill with the spinnaker at one point there. I think they're just avoiding an upwind boat and then a downwind boat.
So all at once here we've got Tribeca, Thurlow, Fisher. Who was to weather there? I think it was
Kamikaze.
Bella Group, Kamikaze, Peeler Hay, Pepsi Max, Little Blue Dinosaur. Like, this is just stacks on the mill in here. The camera doesn't do it justice as to what's going on. And now my young bloke, Will DeVola's trying to impersonate what the CJK was doing, flapping a yellow spinnaker madly. There they are. Now they,
I was just going to call. He's going to ride the spinnaker all the way. You're going to do a late drop there. He let me down. Will, come on.
looked like they were drying the spinnaker, the amount they were letting that flap. But round they go, still upright.
Let's get back up amongst the action. That's just about everyone around except for Sheds, and there's
There's still a few back-enders to come. But we'll head back up course and let you know what's happening up towards the front of the fleet. It's Employment Hero going out of screen there, and now we're looking at CMG. Dylan getting us some lovely drone shots while we can. Apologies, we can't always have the drone up because we're so close to the airport, but we'll bring you those pictures when we can. That's a nice shot. We're heading up the 13s are around the top. When we can tell you who's who at the zoo, we'll let you know. But at the moment, I can see Plonks in second, Cybertech, Harkin, one of the Hornsby boats, but there is a boat with a red spinnaker out in front. Can we make out who that is, Jimmy, with the red kite?
Is that Sail Media?
That I can't make out.
We'll let you know as soon as we can.
So with the 13-foot skiffs, is this drop in pressure really going to bother them too much at all?
No, not at all. I mean, there's different size crews. There's some lighter crews and some heavier crews, which will handle things to their advantage differently. But yeah, overall, for the viewers, the 13-foot skiffs only have one rig and one set of sails compared to the 16s, which have two.
My sort of boat, don't have to pick a rig.
Yeah, they don't have choices to make. Yeah. So, yeah, one size fits all in the 13-foot skiff. We're just, we'll let you know how we're going. Yeah,
I think the first 13 is Cybertech group.
Cybertech out in front.
Then MCC, Plonk,
Harkin,
and I think it's QED with that funky coloured spinnaker just to the right of screen there. And there's the little fluid.
So the Cybertech guys, they're a bit heavier. They're good on the first day in the blow. They're
yes.
Good, right? They're good in the pressure.
Yeah, yeah. They're big. They're tall, and they can sail. Great little sailors. They came through the Flying 11, Manly Junior Flying 11 program at Manly, Theo and Kobe, and in their first season in the 13-foot skiff, they're doing exceptionally well.
And they are both extremely tall.
They're both extremely tall, yeah. Just looking at Kobe coming down here.
There's Kobe.
If you're on a 16, you need a crew, go and see Kobe Napa.
And look at him working that spinnaker. Who do you think he learnt that off, Clint?
Whoa.
Being a napper?
Who did he learn that part off?
I think he learned that off me.
He's got the family trait red gloves on, that's for sure.
And giving chase in the MCC at the moment is Tommy Millam and Tommy Cameron. They're having a great race. I'm sure their fans back at the club will be cheering.
That other red spinnaker that we thought was leading the 13s was in fact a 16.
Yeah.
Late starter, there they are.
It was a 16 leading the 13s.
Yeah. That's how you like it.
Yeah, that's how you like it.
They've got a little way to go. So we'll have a look at the 16s and just let you know what's going on. It looks to me, Clint, like the left-hand group has paid big dividends this time, would you think?
I would actually, yes. It looks like they've been a long time out there in the right, looking for something.
Yeah.
That's always a dangerous scenario to be in, when you're looking and you're not advancing.
Yeah, and for my money, Daniel Turner and Skelcon, so Daniel Turner and Moonen, Skelcon, they've led in from the left-hand side and found the best of the pressure. Banjo and Jared in SKE and Modern Concept Constructions gone a bit further and they're looking a little bit softer, but they are high. So, but yeah, at the moment I think Moonen are looking pretty good, although I don't know that they'll cross Skelcon at the moment. Skelcon's just hooked onto a lovely lift.
Absolutely. But it's one of those things when we diverge into this top mark, they look good, and then they don't.
Yeah, because they need to find a lane back. Is a tricky thing, and in saying that, looking at the right-hand group, they're coming back with a lot of height, but that bodes well for Ruffy as well. He'll tack onto some high pressure. So good to see Ace. Ace looked like they got in a bit of mess down at the bottom mark. They've come out of it really well. Obviously, that thing's got some wheels uphill.
Well, yeah, even yesterday, though. they'll quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have some serious pace upwind, those boys.
Definitely one to, I think, circle for a race win, that's for sure.
I think so
Yeah, I
too,
think you're
Jimmy.
right, Jimmy.
Yeah. So that's
Just give you a look at
concept
what,
constructions we're looking at there. So that's Gerard Smith, Chris Williams and Jackson Cranfield. And they were one of mine with that bigger little rig. For my money, today is playing right into their hands if they can sail a good tactical race. They're certainly going to be in the top group.
And when you say they're slightly bigger, what are we talking?
So their mast height, I believe, is a bit higher, and they've got more sail area. So they've taken the gamble that that when that transition zone time comes in, which is exactly what we're looking at today, just having that little bit of extra sail area, the little bit of extra mast height as well, means that their spinnakers are quite a bit bigger.
Yep.
And it's a bit of a gamble, because when it's blowing 25 plus, you've really got a lot on.
Yeah.
Speaking to Jared about it though, like he's hedged, like they literally did go and hedge their bets on that because of what's previously happened in the class where they've gone stay ashore in 25 over.
Yeah.
And they feel like with Chris and Jackson, they've got the weight to lump it a little bit further, and Jared is one of those skippers that does hike.
Yeah, and Chris is a real boat tinkerer and a very good sailor too. And like you say, Jimmy, they made that decision that, well, if we're not going to sail in over 25, why do we need a little rig?
Yeah.
And looking at what they've done here to the rest of the fleet up this beat, I think they've made some good decisions.
They have, yeah. They've sailed a good tactical beat.
Yep.
They'll be in the top 4 coming around this top mark is my prediction. Still got a little way to go to the top mark, viewers, but no, they're looking in good shape. And as I say, with that extra sail area, if they sail a good downwind here, they could really move up and maybe get themselves into the lead. But with the company they're keeping at the moment, Skelcon, SKE and Moonen, they're definitely not going to have it their own way. That is one thing for sure.
Just that last shot of Skelcon was lovely, lads. That one there, that's a great shot.
Yeah. Gee, it's getting patchy up this top end though.
Still managing to hold 2, which is good.
They would have those little rigs grunted right up though, wouldn't they?
So we're just looking here, Jimmy's just showing me the results, the overall at the moment with Modern Concepts on 28. So a good result. Good result. Will actually put them in the money. Big drop there.
Big drop there.
And when do the drops come into play?
After the second race
End of today.
Right, okay.
If we get 2 in today, they'll get their first drop.
This is like moving day at the golf.
It is indeed. Yeah.
You're still playing golf, Bozo?
Yeah, not very well. Although Jay Atkins, he organised me a game at Pimble the other day. Very, very nice of him. Thank you, Mr. Atkins.
Yeah, there's a big J-bird going.
There's Henry Macon, first around, top mark.
The full Macon complement on board there, Dol.
It is indeed, yeah.
Well, I'd say Jay would be firmly nestled into the couch, right, watching every minute of this coverage.
Yeah.
Moonen opting for
opting for an early jibe here, so he thinks there's a bit more pressure over on the western side of the track, but
if you're looking down the track at Skelcon right now, they are motoring. I think at the moment they're on it.
Bit of an untidy jibe set from Moonen there, but away they go. So you're looking at Skelcon just putting in a jibe now. So
big mover up this one has been inside building.
Inside, they've come out of that right hand side.
Rod Carter, nice job. Big flano. Speaking of tall units, big flano on the sheet. Yeah, they made big moves from them on that beat. And we're just seeing Domino's, Imagine and Fluid coming into play here. Closely followed by
Botany
Botany
Access.
Access and Southerly. Gee, Zoe, not much between Zoe and Sarah today. They've been neck and neck all day so far.
That's Bartley there, Dole, behind.
Oh, is it Bartley?
Yeah.
Jeepers.
So you can see the difference there. Imagine went round that bottom mark. I think they would have had at least a minute on the fluid, and fluid have closed that gap up that beat.
Yeah, well, Sarah and Zoe were right together last beat, and I saw that grey hull and thought it was them again. But no, it's Dan Bromelo and his team on Bartley having a belter. Oh, this is messy.
We lost a man on the 8.
Yeah, but he was avoiding a boat that jived onto port. So
Just throw the human handbrake out the side.
yeah, he was going to go straight through the side of Botany then. I don't think they were intending on doing a jibe set, the Ace, but they were forced to jibe.
They're doing one now, Dole.
They certainly are. Once they get a bloke on board, they can actually put the spinnaker up. We might hear more of that later.
I think we might.
Red Pumps, they had a bit of a loss on that last beat, but they're around and they're coming, and now we've got Sarah Lee. There she is. That's the grey boat I was looking for. Closely followed by Imy Eriks and the ever-charging Noakes Youth with the big rig. Come on, Ryan.
Let's watch this down. They're going around the corner here with Imy. Let's see how they go.
At least Ryan's sort of done the right thing there, having the big rig get below
Yeah.
the boats around you and try and get that separation and get out of there.
Yeah, a lot of people really pushing the limits there. And then we've got Sail Racing, NFPG, Noakes, 3 of our big heavy hitters. And they're in the teens at the moment. That isn't what they're looking for today. Joel Beechel in the NFPG and Contender. Wishard, So Good, and Sutek.
I'd expect Sutek to have just running a little bit further up the field.
Yeah, it's a very little rig on the Sutek though. That mainsail looks very small. So
Steve-O, if you're watching, you might need a bigger secondary.
yeah. Cunningham's a bit deep as well, and I'm pleased to say Employment Hero have made a big gain on that deep. They were very deep at the gate and they've moved up nicely, so hopefully they continue to do that. And we're just passing CJK there. They've got a lot of ground to make up.
God, you sunk them good, Bozo.
Yeah, nice pick, Bozo. They'll be seeing you back at the club, the CJK boys.
I'm running as soon as I'm off the boat.
Yeah, you really put the commentator's curse on those poor lads.
Sorry, Milgo.
So we're just making our way down course now. You're looking at Bartley and Swell. They'd be looking, I'm guessing, around the 15, 16, 17 mark. Just outside, somewhere just outside the top 10 anyway. Jimmy's not writing the numbers down for me yet, so Wade does that nicely, does that for me at the finish, so I know what I'm talking about. I need someone to look after me. Imagine signage there on a nice little vein of pressure by the looks of it. Their boys are stretched out. They're trying to wind up the boat speed. Big Bretto swinging it out. They've made up a bit of ground there, I think, and giving chase to the Domino's fluid. That bunch of boats are currently in about 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they are. Probably imagine in 6, very tight with fluid. Fluid's just going to jibe, come back across to imagine. Good tactic. Stay close to your opposition.
Just having a look at the 13 style, it looks like it's fairly steady in terms of the positions that it was before.
Yep.
I've noticed that Evics are sort of back in 10th or so.
Yeah. They'll be looking to make some gains, and also so will my girls in the Botany. They're a bit deep on that first run, but looks like they're making a bit of a comeback on this beat. Skelton first round the bottom mark with about
quite a lead.
75 metre lead over Daniel Turner's Moon and Yachts. And Banjo Nicholson in SKE Electrical coming in hot. Just see Matt Sten apply his trade in the bow of the Moonin. As always, that spinnaker's tucked away nicely, and
Fabulous
away
drop.
we go. Oh, he's not out yet though. Might have a small issue there.
He's out.
He's out now. What they do, we were talking about it yesterday. What they do is, at the moment, the sheet hand's having a steer, and Daniel Turner Ruffy has gone forward, and he's just tidying up the spinnaker. So that's we were talking about why they have the double tiller. That's exactly when it comes in handy.
That's the quickest the boat ever goes, mate, when the skipper hands the tiller over to the sheet end.
They always say that.
Yeah.
You know, we used to have 3 trapezes on, and I'd actually go out
In the drop.
in the drop.
I used to do the same too, Clint. Yeah, but no one seems to do that anymore.
I think it's more so revolves around the jibes.
Yeah. And I once we stopped doing that, I found it much more comfortable to steer in height, not wearing a trapeze belt.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
Yeah.
The few times I started with Clint, at least he was nice enough, he'd pull the skipper's trap wire back for
Out
the
of the way,
jibe.
get it out of the way,
Everyone
yeah.
else would leave it in your way and be like, they'd be yelling at you while you're tangled up in the bottom of the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than a trap hook in the eye, is there? Or a trap ring in the eye
No.
as you fly across.
So we're going to have Domino's taking the left-hand gate in 5th place. We're going to have a very tight rounding here. Oh no, Fluid decided to do the right thing, and Buffalo Girls round the outside. So Imagine in 6th, Fluid in 7th.
And that's Phil Harmer there in the bow. He's normally on the sheet for us, but he's gone to the bow.
Yeah, but if Fang said, oh, I want to do the sheet, you'd put Fang on the sheet.
Yeah, you would.
If Fang said, I want to steer, you put him steering.
You didn't argue with Fang.
I'm not arguing with Fang either. Yeah.
One of the nicest guys in sailing, Fang Warren.
Yeah. Zoe Dransfield next around in Botany, and Tom Clout still having a great race. They're showing some pace today, the Tugara. St George crowd will be happy to see that. Next up, we'll have Swell continuing their run of good races. They're a bit of a pressure jibe drop here, though. Here we go. And with the spinnaker chute, they did that quite easily. With a normal drop, that would have been a difficult manoeuvre.
And that's when the spinnaker chute just comes into its own.
It is, yeah. Next round, we've got the Southerly, very closely followed by Ace and Bartley.
Bartley having a glamour.
They're having an absolute glamour.
Here comes a little general.
Bit of a gain to him on that run, and also the red pumps have come back into it here.
I'll tell you
Super
what,
tight.
Lee's beaten Ryan down with the big rig.
Yes, but they sailed opposite sides of the course. So.
Yeah.
And not too much difference here. Remember, we said at the top, Mark, Noakes and Imey, so it looks like the little rigs are still holding their own downhill.
Yeah. There was a bit of a wild drop from the Noakes there.
Noakes blue.
They might get a few tips from Ryan's father, Dave, who is probably one of the greatest forward hands of all time. They might want to get that sheet under control before they fire the tack line next time.
So Imagine went hard out to the right on the last beat. Now they're looking like they're going hard out to the left. So go figure.
Yeah. NHS taking the left gate, TTR on the other.
And then First State Lending.
First State Lending next round.
That's Jack's big signage budget.
Oh, yeah, throw it all at it.
So
far, so good. Next
so
round.
far, so good in the Sutek. So far, so good. Let that drop.
So good.
That drop wasn't so good.
Not so good.
Yeah. And don't forward hands love it when their skipper does that too.
All legit.
Eh? Yeah. But she's a nice young lady. You'd be watching your P's and Q's.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I watch my P's and Q's
So,
anyway.
So excuse me, maybe next time we can just...
Give me a little bit more space.
Just put it in triplet.
Over on that other gate, we've just had Tribeca and Red Pumps Red.
No.
And following up from them in a little bit of strife, no, they're okay, is Cunningham's. And behind them, we're going to have Employment Hero and Outback.
Get back up and get back onto the lead of this one, and we'll probably pick up the 13s almost at the same time.
Yeah, coming in on that tail end of that little group, we've got Fireball and CJK. CJK really appreciating Clint's predictions today.
I'll give you the big anchor off the front if you want, Bozo. You can go drop that off to Gills and just say Merry Christmas.
I don't dare. Stop mentioning my name and
That's another Clint that I'm talking about.
So for our 13 fans at home and back at the clubs, we've had Cybertech have extended their lead even further. They're really rocketing along today. And they're followed by Harkin in second.
So Harkin's taken some places. I think they were 4th or 5th down that last week.
Yeah, they've picked up a few more. They had a good lead, obviously. But Cybertech, Theo Franklin and Kobe Napa, they are having a blinder out here today. Absolutely motoring down when they are at the moment. That's them when you can see Harkin have just jived behind them. As always, the camera lies. There is probably 150 metres between those two boats at the moment.
Yeah, at least. And I think Evex have just said probably done 200 or 300 metres around the top mark. So I think they're back in 10.
Yeah, they're pretty deep. So at the moment we've got Cybertech, Heidi Bates and Orlando Sadleg in Harkin, and then Avril in the Plot Cafe. And behind them will be Modern Concept Constructions.
Those their guys in Harkin are selling that beautifully. You know, a little bit into windward, just very comfortable, ripping it downhill.
Nice and flat, getting down.
Nice flat.
Yeah, yeah. So on screen there now you're seeing Modern Concept, Tommy
And
Cameron on the hill.
And the orange shoots cheeky,
Oh, that's cheeky, is it? They're having a good one.
having a blinder.
Thank you, Jimmy. My eyes aren't good enough to see that far.
And then next that'll come into shot will be the little fluid.
So Zach Wyatt steering the cheeky. And then we've got Donnie Rollinson,
Liam.
and Liam Karunaratne on the fluid.
They'll be loving it out here, the boys. They like a good time, those two lads.
They do. They're here for a good time. And if any ladies are out there, they might want to follow their social media.
Oh, they're running hot, are they?
Yeah. They're going viral.
I always
There's
laugh.
the Ronston.
I always laugh at the little fluid guys. They always wave to me and say, hey, how good are we going? And they're normally capsized at the time.
Just afterwards.
Great for the sponsors, lads. I'll put the name on the bottom of the boat next time.
So back to the 16s. We're just going to take you into the thick of the action now as we move up course again. We've got Modern Concept just to leeward of Mooned in a controlling position at the moment, but they're both trailing behind Skelcon. Skelcon still with a nice lead.
Jared there working pretty hard. He's really hiking into that. Good on you, Jared. So there's obviously still plenty of pressure for the little rigs, which is great to see. We haven't run out yet.
Yeah, just where we are now, Clint, looking out the window. Look, that's an increase in pressure, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, good sort of 15, 17 there, which is lovely.
So quite nice up the top end of the course here at the moment, and hopefully this pressure hangs around until they get around this top mark and get kites up. And they can use that pressure to get back down course.
Now, there's a bit of a roll of the dice. The fluid's gone out hard right, and imagine they're going out to the left. And looking at it right now, I'd say Imagine have got them.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. Yeah, fluid a long way in the west side of the course, aren't they?
Yeah.
It looks like they're ducking into the sailing club for a
They
sausage
look like going
sandwich,
back
mate.
for an early one.
It's a long way back from there.
Yeah.
They're not chipping.
They're not chipping. They're not chipping. All right.
Skelcon leading in. They're about to go past the Botany 13. I think I saw them having a little dip before. So the big gains that they made on the last beat were soon lost with a mistake, I think.
So 3 Makins on the Skelcon.
Yep.
They'll obviously all get on quite well.
Well, you'd hope so.
You'd hope so. Steve-O and I used to always like to have Andy in between the two of us.
Well, you know, as a coach, I could never. The only siblings that I coached that got along were the Dransfields.
Right, okay.
So all the Dransfield kids over the years that sailed together at one point or another, and they were fantastic. Most of the other siblings that sailed together, including my own at one point, didn't end well.
There's often a bit of a buffer when you don't know when they're not family.
Like you said, mate, if you're in a three-handed boat, put a big bloke in between.
Settle down, you blokes.
So still pretty tight here as we get up towards the top end of the course. For the final time.
And a run to the finish, and then we do it all again.
It is indeed.
Oh, the excitement galore here.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Clint. I can barely contain myself. Moonan and MCC have actually overstood this top mark. Skelcon picked a slightly better line. They're on an easy lay. Great shot there, looking at Skelcon, and we'll see them come in, ease a bit of gear. You'll see the skipper just easing some bang in Cunningham as we're approaching. Looks like he's doing that now. And you'll see them get the boat down nice and flat, and he'll rip it away. Here we go. In they go, kite going up.
And that's pretty well textbook there. What
Very good. Windward set, and that for a windward set, that was an absolute gem.
Glamour.
Kite didn't flap at all. Let's see how good the Moonan crew can do here. Here we go. Yeah, once again.
And that was excellent too. I'd actually say he got him by about 5 metres there.
Yeah. With the spinnaker chute, the kite flaps, but it comes out quick and away they go. So you want to wonder why those 3 guys are at the front of the fleet.
Yeah, there is a good reason.
Yeah, for the youngsters out there watching, that's how you do it.
So there's Moonan now. He's chasing hard, and he's basically going to try and match it with Skelcon.
Yeah, and just try and outdo him for pace.
Try and outdo him and just put a bit of pressure on him. I'm not sure it'll work. The Makins are pretty cool under pressure.
Next around, Banjo Nicholson in SKE, Nathan Wilmot in Imagine, and then Rod Carter on Insight. We've got about 3 or 4 boat lengths separating each of those boats. They're a bit separated from the top 3, so we're going to have 2 battles: the battle for first, second, and third, and the battle for fourth, fifth, and sixth. Next in, we'll have Dominoes and Fluid, followed by Botany Access, followed by, now I'm right this time, aren't I, Jimmy? We've got Sarah Lee giving chase to Zoe. This time I've got the right grey.
Yeah,
I've got the right
the
grey
big
boat
S.
this
The
time.
big S for Sarah.
Yeah, I've got the right grey boat this time. Surprisingly, Clint, looking at those 4 boats, and we're down pressure, they're all very easy on the bank.
Yeah, surprisingly.
A lot of twist.
And there's not a lot of bump either to sort of require that. Obviously, they're finding that works for them out here.
Yeah.
It's a constant process of adjustment.
Following that group, folks, just so you know where everyone is, we've got Tagara, Ace, Swell, followed by Eric's, Sail Racing, NFPG, and Noakes Youth. Bartley still hanging in there, and Imey and Red Pumps giving chase to that aforementioned pack.
And we're just ripping down here to these leaders, and I don't think we're putting anything into Skelcon at the moment.
We've got to do exactly what they're about to do now. Just start throwing
jobs at them.
So it gets a bit noisy for you at home while we're full noise going down the course here, but we'll do our best to keep talking to you and letting you know what's going on. Skelcon have now jived back to match Moonan.
And they're not panicking, they're just going when they think the best pressure is. They weren't even matching guys with them then, they're just going to find their spot to go.
Keep yourself between your opposition and the next mark.
That's, yes.
Is the key. That way the other boat won't get any pressure or shift that you don't get. And yeah, the Macon boys are doing a superb job at the moment. And gee, the last few races they'll be cheering up at the Belmont 16-foot Skiff Club, won't they?
Sure will. Big shout out to the Belmont lads, Belmont Mafia. Am I allowed to say that?
Only because they called you the Manly Mafia, mate.
They do that.
Money, doing your money laundering, buying hamburgers and chips.
We've had a lot of great battles with the Belmont guys, but we're all good mates, and that's at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to.
That's a great thing about skiff sailing, yeah. Indeed, it is.
Now I'm just used to getting a ribbing over how good Newcastle are going and how bad Manly are going.
So you can see there the difference between the 2 boats at the moment, and Skelcon's just picked up a little bit of pressure, which is going to help them consolidate their position at the moment. A little bit deeper, same pace. So at the moment they're making a bit of a gain on Moonan. Moonan want to be, I think they're fine at the moment, but they don't want to forget about modern concept constructions. But at the moment I think they're pretty safely in second at the moment.
Yeah.
But MCC will certainly be happy to pick up a 3rd place today. And with a race to go, they'll be looking to consolidate on that in the next race as well.
So at the end of this race here, obviously there's a lot of mixed results. We get an update on the series point score at the end of this race still?
They might take a little while to get those points calculated.
They're pretty quick.
They're pretty quick.
We'll get them during the race, that's for sure.
Yeah, we may not get them before the next race, but
I'll tell you how good they are. If you're following the 13s, jump online now. The results are already online. How's that for a heads up?
That's incredible, yeah.
So, in the 13s, for the viewers at home, Cybertech Group, they won that race from Harkin. Cheeky was 3rd. Ebix got back to 4th.
Wow, incredible.
Plonk was next. Black Cat, Fluid, Sail Media, and then Ronston.
That's excellent. And who's doing the results? Are we doing the results live off the starters?
Yeah, on the start-finish boat, it's actually a pretty smick little outfit. You've got obviously PRO's Peter Tinworth, you've got Jack Andrew on there, I think Brad Andrews on there. It's the cast of thousands and they're doing a fabulous job.
So here we go. We've got Skelcon, Henry Macon coming into the finish, full noise. We've almost got a perfect shot lined up here, and Dylan's got a great drone picture for you there, and they're over for the win.
Well done, Skelcon.
Fantastic win to the boys. I reckon that Daniel Turner and the boys will be very happy with a second place today. That's a banker.
That's a banker.
For sure.
And there comes Modern coming in here now, and look, they've had a great race too. And as you predicted, the bigger little rig and probably some bloody good sailing that brought them home.
All of the above, yeah. Look, they sailed a great race tactically, and their crew work was impeccable. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this breeze continues to peter out a bit. They should have a good next race as well. So they're just coming in now, about to cross.
And you would think now, after this first race, the rest of the crews have worked out where they want to be positioned
On the course,
on the course.
Yeah, yeah.
You would hope.
Well, you'd hope, but, you know, we saw boats go to both sides of the course, and, you know, we were talking before about where your boys were. You couldn't have been any further right than they were, but they ended up getting back into the group in not bad shape. I think they lost a little bit.
I think they lost about a minute.
Yeah.
I think still hard left is
I agree.
pay. Percentage pay.
I agree, yeah. Next boat to come in, we have
A pretty close battle for...
in a pretty tight run to the finish here, but it looks like to me like Imagine are going to take fourth place. Gee, and close here between SKE will just steal a place from inside. Great result for Rod Carter there, and also Banjo Nicholson showing some consistency.
This will be close here between Fluid and Sudley. Real close.
Sudley managed to get in front of Botany Access down this run.
And Domino's leading both those boats in. Domino's next in. Oh, this is going to be tight, Clint.
Yeah, it's going to be real tight. I've got a horrible feeling Sudley might get there.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate.
Yeah.
We'll give it to Sudley.
By a nose.
By a pole.
Next up, Zoe Dransfield and team in Botany Access.
Well, they've had a great result. We'll see if Ace are flying a flag when they come down.
Yeah, that was messy, wasn't it? But yeah, often people will leave that stuff on the water, and
that's the beautiful thing about skiff racing,
Yeah,
unless it's completely blatant.
yeah, but yeah, generally people are just too lazy to turn up at the protest.
Is that what it is, Tom?
I reckon. Yeah. I do a lot of other sailing regattas where
better
it's not
things to
quite
do.
so relaxed.
Yeah.
And then as a coach, I go, "What? You didn't put a flag up? What for that?"
Yeah, well, I mean, the trade-off is you're going to be in a protest room till 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, or back there at 9 o'clock in the morning.
And what's that going to do to you next day?
Yeah. Lee Napton next over.
Got out of jail with a ninth there.
Yeah, top 10. The Ace boys. Yes, I can't see a flag flying.
No
there,
flag flying.
Funnily enough.
Yeah, they've forgotten about it already, Dom.
Yeah. Oh, what? Which mark around them? Yeah, like a goldfish.
And here's our boys on the Noakes Blue.
Yeah, Tagara next over. That's a good race from Tom and the boys. Swell, ever consistent, those guys. Then Ryan Ewings and the team on Noakes Youth. And we're going to have...
Red Pump's getting very...
Yeah, this is going to be tight. Sail Racing are going to get the best of this from Eric's.
Have you got a red spinnaker finish at the checker mark?
NFPG, and then looks like Nozomi, then Red Pumps. Oh, this is messy.
This is very messy. There's red spinnakers everywhere.
Imey next to cross.
Little disappointing for Imey, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, it's not a 37. So
It's not a 37, and it happens so quickly.
But,
Yeah.
but
You know.
Rob will be treating it like it's a 37.
Yeah, I know,
and,
but
yeah,
look-
he'll want to come out swinging very hard the next.
contender next over, Will. But yeah, look at how close. You know, they were just on the back of 6 boats crossing nose to tail or side by side.
And a difference between a 13th or 14th and a 20th.
Big numbers.
Yeah, no, big numbers.
Yeah. Nick Connor is just over in the Cunninghams. He was deep, so he made some gains.
Next is TTR.
Yeah, Bartley went around that bottom mark in 7th or so.
Yeah, they got a bit lost up there, but that's them crossing now.
And then First State Lending from St George.
But the good thing is that they'll probably look back at that and say, well,
We
you
can
know,
do it.
We can do it. We
Yeah.
can be there. We can mix it up with them. We've just got to, be a little bit more consistent, maybe a little conservative, maybe hang with the good guys and just work harder on the boat speed.
Yeah, yeah.
That's some pretty good advice, isn't it, Bozo? Like, if you're not sure, go where the good guys are going and just try and concentrate on the boat speed is the key.
And look, Jimmy, and how many times have you seen it when you're out training and there's 2 boats and 2 boats will go super fast together?
Yeah.
Because you're both working exceptionally hard. You're not falling asleep for 20 seconds and letting that boat go. You're losing, not boat speed.
Well, back in the day when we used to train against each other, wasn't necessarily slacking off for any other reason than the bloke barking at us from the coach boat.
That's very, very true. But you don't want to let that other boat go.
No.
So
hard.
For the guys that are coming up, if you go around the bottom mark and you're with Lee or you're with Imagine or you're with Ruffy, stick with them.
Yeah.
Work hard. Just work on boat speed,
100%.
work on height, and just stay with them because you sure as hell will end up in a reasonable spot at the top mark.
But yeah, as you say, Clint, when we've got boats crossing, 6 boats crossing within a second of each other, depending on what side of that bunch you're on, you could be 11th, you could be 20th, you could be... Yeah.
Totally. And the natural reaction is often to go, okay, I'll just bail out of this and I will get a miracle somewhere.
Yeah.
And you just won't get that miracle.
No.
There are no miracles out there.
There are no miracles. It's just hard work. And I always remember Ant King off the start line. We were a little bit maybe boxed off the start line, and he was a great one to say, Bozo, let's just grind. And, it's a matter of inches, and suddenly you've got a foot, suddenly you've got metres, suddenly you're ahead and you're in a controlling position, but you've just got to grit your teeth and keep at it.
Yeah. Just going to zip across the course here. Just looking at some of the next bunch of boats come through. We had a big bunch of boats go through that included fire stopping and
There's one of the heat winners from yesterday, Bella Group, just crossing now.
yeah, Bella Group coming in a bit deep, just ahead of the Fireball.
What does Bella Group do?
I don't know, Clint, but would you like to Google it and let us know?
I'm on it. Unless Chits is on it.
So CJK,
I hope
then
it's
the
something
Hunter
good
Health Side, and
that
then
we
No
can-
Sense.
Maybe if we give them a shout out with something good, we might get a bit of product.
Well, there you go. I should know. They're in the building game. They're a door manufacturer.
Door manufacturer, okay. They don't sound like a...
They don't. I thought it must be like
Come
like
on.
creams and potions.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe it's a salon somewhere, and you and I could go and get a facial.
Oh, well, now we get a new door.
We'd be there all day. Now, I hope I'm right there, Bella Group. If I'm wrong, send me a message.
Hopefully we've got the
Send
right
Dolly a
Bella Group.
message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next across will be Kamikaze from Middle Harbour.
Oh, hang on. I've got a Bella Group. Here's a kitchen manager supplier as well. Oh, here we go.
That
Hang
is
on,
it.
hang on.
That's
Oh,
the
no,
one.
grass cutting. Excuse me, Bella Group. You're cutting grass.
That looks like their signage, doesn't it? That one?
Yeah, that's it. Mulching, shrub work, weed control.
Well, that's
That's a service you definitely don't need, Clint, because you've been cutting people's grass for years.
Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, Dolly. You'll keep. There's another race to go here. Where was Belly Group?
Oh, well, we'll have to go back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going back.
I'm guessing they're up in the Lake Macquarie area.
There's the Queenslanders. It was over and didn't go back.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for them.
A lot of effort for them for nothing.
And unfortunately for some of these boats that finished first, like we're right sort of down at almost the Brighton Sands, how far down the in Botany Bay we are. The club's just that little bit too far if you wanted to go into a rig change if you wanted the lead boats.
Oh,
And,
yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
There's a few venues that the 16s go to that, the start is right in front of the club, and there's an opportunity there if you've got a half-decent crew that are quick at rigging and unrigging. It doesn't have to be pretty, but you can get in, change a rig, and get back out.
Interesting you bring that up, Jimmy, because you know what you don't see much of these days is shore crew.
No, you do not.
So you go back to ye olden days, when I was
Woolfield, someone.
When I was,
is that how far back you're going?
But back in the day, especially in the 18 footers, but a lot of the top 16 guys had a shore crew, and they were always, they'd help rig, they'd help unrig, and in the case of an emergency, they'd be running around in a boat with spare parts and stuff, and driving to regattas as a co-driver to do the long drives and stuff like that. And I don't think I see anyone with a shore crew these days.
Well, Fluid would say I'm a shore crew, but it's just not a good one. So this Bella Group here,
You got Dion with the fire stopping.
Yeah, well,
and
Dion's the manager.
the manager, is he?
Yeah. Most of the East Coast. Looks like they've got a place in South Australia there.
So they're big.
They're big. They do lots of stuff. Actually,
they're big in the grass cutting.
They're doing a lot more than grass cutting. They're doing all sorts of things. They're big. We need bigger signage from Bella Group, please.
Noted.
Noted.
Should we get up to some mischief and see what else we can get Clint to Google?
Oh.
Really stitch him up.
Here we go.
Well, he's off to
It's Clint's
off to Japan, aren't you, tomorrow?
It's Clint's last day with us today, so we should stitch him up.
Because you haven't already stitched him up.
Yeah, exactly.
He has feelings,
Well, he's stuffing his face with lollies, so he's going to get diabetes anyway.
So just recapping the results from race 4. First, Skelcon, the Macon boys, brilliant effort from the Belmont Club. Second, Moon and Yachts. Third, Modern Concept Constructions. Fourth, Imagine Signage. Fifth, SKE. Sixth, Insight. 7, Dominoes. 8th, Southerly. 9, Fluid. 10th, Botany Access. 11, Noakes, and 12th, Ace. And in the 13-foot skiffs, Cybertech Group, Theo. From the Manly Club. Second was Harkin. Third was Cheeky. Fourth, Ebix. Fifth, Plonk. Then we had Black Cat, Fluid, Sail Media, and then Ronston. And seems though the Botany Scaffold girls had a bit of a shocker. Why don't we hear from
Peacocks to Feather Dusters. They had a win yesterday.
They had a win yesterday, and I went and had a little chat with Sophie on the Botany. So we got that. We'll play that little video. Here with race 2's winner, Craig from the Bella Group. That's not Sophie, but
Stella.
Hold on.
Just having some technical difficulties.
It's not technical. The lolly jar just went around the boat, so everyone's a little bit
Here with
sugared up and pressing
Craig
buttons.
from the Bella Group. Stellar
There's the guys from the
first
Bella
race
Group
today.
that I caught up with yesterday on
we
that
got
one.
off the start line all right, and then kind of worked our way through the pack of the
We'll get there.
And
We'll do the Bella Group one first. How's that for an idea?
Dived off. We saw good line of pressure, and I think we were around third at the bottom mark, and then everyone else kind of went left and we went right, and it paid off, and then it's just 2 boat race from there with us and Noakes, and we even managed to come out on top today, but it was a good race. Yeah, I've had a red hat for basically all the sailing I've done, so yeah, just a little tradition I have.
All right, I'm here with the winner of Heat 2 of the Australian 13-foot skiff titles, Sophie Hart. Congratulations, Soph.
Thank you very much.
Must be pretty stoked. Unfolded very funny for the finish.
Yeah, it was definitely surprising. You know, it was a bit, weren't expecting it, but you know, yeah, we're definitely happy with it.
And did you know what you had to do compared to what you've seen happen with the Harkin, or you guys just winged it?
Well, not really, but we saw what they did and then, you know, kind of went from there, but yeah.
No hooter for them,
hooter
so,
for them,
sort of gave
just
you a
went
bit of
with
a,
it, yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah, I saw it in the sailing instructions, but I wasn't really too sure. So, yeah, but we're definitely happy with it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I know Dolly, who's Bella's dad, he's on with us for the week. He was stoked, so he was cheering. I believe Dad was cheering.
I think he was pretty happy, so.
Team manager.
Yeah, of course.
And great sponsor in the Botany Scaffold guys, Botany Access.
Yeah, huge support from them, so definitely happy with that.
There you go. We finally got around to it. Yesterday's winners of a few of the races, and we're just waiting for, I think, the last boat now to finish, which is Eric's. Just about to come into shot there. Eric's removals.
So yeah, the girls were very excited to take their first win of the nationals in the 13s, Jimmy. But they were at the same time they felt quite bad for Heidi and Orlando, who made that error at the finish with the shortened course. And
well, it was quite confusing because the committee took away one of the rounding marks, put the boat there, and then the checkered flag, the checkered buoy was still.
Yeah,
in the water. You know, you can't blame Heidi and Orlando for that, but you know, they were. I actually asked them the question yesterday, and they were okay. That's fine. Like, you know,
they took it well.
They took it very well. So
yeah, but yeah, I'm saying the girls actually did feel for them.
Oh, you got to.
And although they'd kind of worked out what was going on, they'd also seen how the skiffs were going through, and figured that was the way to do it. But yeah, disappointing for the Harkin team. They were in the lead and deserved the win. But yeah, they're bouncing back already. They did win the next race, and they just racked up another second. So yeah, they'll be back in. And they, even after their mistake, they still got, I think it was fifth. So
yeah,
they're a long way from not out of this regatta yet. That's for sure.
For the viewers at home, 16-foot skip results are up from this race. So you can jump
race
on there.
Results, or have we got overalls as well?
I think the race results go up, which triggers the overalls to get upgraded straight away. So there you go. The boat finished a minute ago, the last boat, and the results are already up. So there you go.
It's amazing. Now I've just had a message from Pilchard to say that the Belly Group is a cleaning company.
Who sent you that?
Pilchard. Really? Hey, thank you, mate.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Now, as I look around, I mean, the skiffs are heavily sponsored. Who do you reckon is the best looking sponsored skiff?
Oh, the fire stopping,
the employment
definitely.
hero, definitely. Yeah.
Really? And you're going to say the fluid, aren't
I'm
you?
not actually. I'm going to say the man flu just stands out like pup's nuts.
It does.
Yeah, look. The Mooner looks excellent too. I mean, they've got the spinnaker. They've got the the signage on the sails. I think the black really makes the signage stands out though.
Yeah, and the fluid. I must say, Clint, the fluid does look good. And
Yeah,
and it's distinctive.
easy to see.
Easy to see. Yep.
We,
And there was a skiff actually called Easy 2C back in the day.
was-
Weren't they the company that made the calendars for companies, I think, from memory? But no, I think the Cunninghams is a good looking boat.
Yeah.
Always like the signage on the Cunninghams. It's easy to pick as well.
Yeah, I think it's worth putting a bit of time into your colours and the look of the boats.
Yeah.
You know, certainly noticeable. I mean, a lot of these sponsors are probably sponsoring for the love of it and not looking for a return.
Yeah.
However, you know, I think just to have your name on the sails and be supportive, people in the class support the people that are in the class.
Yeah.
Which
And
is,
they do.
Which is important. They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They do. Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. There's a good looking boat.
There's a good looking boat. Yeah.
Ducks
What do those fluid guys do?
They're one of Sydney's leading remedial
clean-
builders.
cleaning company,
I
aren't
don't know my grass cutters.
Cleaning company.
They do remedial building because if they built something, it'd need remedial work.
Thank you, Dolly. How do I get off this boat?
Okay, so for the viewers at home, the overalls are up for the
Here we
16s,
go.
which is Imagine Signage is leading on 23 points. Southerly on 29 points. Skelcon on 40 points. Moon and Yachts 42. They're equal with Sail Racing. Then next is Domino's. 7th is Fluid Building on 55. 8th is Insight Building from Belmont, 56. 9th, Sutec Building, 60. And rounding out the top 10 is Swell Racing on 62. And then we'll have a quick look at the 13s. Just bear with me. You guys just talk amongst yourself while I find them. How's
Well,
that for
we're
you?
waiting for you to come up with the goods, mate. I'm just seeing the messages flood into my phone about the Bella Group.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I apologise.
Yeah, gee, we said we're sorry, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be doing the tour of the apology
Yeah.
next, Bozo.
You know what they say about marketing, though? There's good and there's bad, and it's all good.
Okay, in the 13-foot skiffs we have Ebix Sail Racing leading on 10 points from Cybertech Group, 25. Next is Sail Media on 25. Then in 4th is Harkin on 27. Then 5th is Fluid, 28. 6th Plonk Cafe. 7 is Bartley Constructions, 8 is Black Cat, 9 QED, and rounding out the top 10 is Cheeky. So there's the updated results to date.
A match without a drop.
That's without a drop. The drop
Yeah,
comes in after this next race.
So the next race, when the drops start to come into play, it will all reshuffle again.
Look at the shuffling of the deck chairs on the Titanic. So
Massive.
we're not far off the 5-minute gun here for the 16th. The 5-minute hooter, I should say.
And it's been a while for me, but it's 2 drops now, is it? It used to be only 1 drop.
It's 2 drops if they get through all races.
All
If they
races.
only do, I think, 8, there's only the one drop.
So yes, thank you, Matty Waters and James Pilchard Pilgrim for just clearing up what the Bella Group do. They're the Belmont Skiff Club's cleaning contractors.
Now everyone knows. They do a lot. They do a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
They'll be branching out into all the other things you now said, Clint.
Well, and for And for everyone messaging my phone, can you please stop it? I'm trying to commentate on a sailing race here.
You just ignore it, Dolly. That's all
Yeah.
you got to do.
I've got it on silent, so
You turn it off and read it afterwards. It's a bit like the sailing instructions.
So Dolly, just going through some of these sponsors while we're waiting here for a start. But Employment Hero, what do they do?
so that's a business who manages all your payroll, entitlements, superannuation, all that sort of stuff. Very big. It was a startup company by its founder Ben Thompson, and they have been massively successful, dealing with a lot of the big banks, big companies, right down. Doesn't matter the size of your business. And I could recommend Fluid Building.
Wow.
That,
Lots of people sort of subcontracting that out these days.
Indeed, yeah. And it keeps you up to date with all the changes in employment
Legislation
law
and
and
stuff.
legislation and stuff, all that stuff that sort of happens automatically for you.
So the reserve day comes into play tomorrow, so we won't be here tomorrow. We'll be back Thursday for one race. We will have signal. The scheduled outages has now apparently been moved to night works for us. So.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, because Ben Thompson from Employment Hero had kindly, there's our 5 minute. Yeah, Ben Thompson had kindly offered to lend us his Starlink if we had needed it.
Well, thank you very much for that.
And excuse my ignorance, what's a Starlink?
So my mate Elon Musk.
Your mate?
Yeah, we're old
They're
buddies.
besties.
Yeah, we hang out, you know. We hang out, and he's been putting Clint for. I know you. You know, you don't get out much.
I'm a builder.
But he's been putting all these satellites in the atmosphere, right? And he's developed this system that where no matter where you are in the world, you can have this little system, and you will have.
Just for the price of?
It's actually pretty reasonable.
Is it really?
Yeah. But you'll be making Elon richer, but that's good because he'll take me out to dinner more often.
Oh, well, he's probably down to his last 100 billion, isn't he?
Something like that.
Yeah. Yes, Tesla, right.
4 minutes, folks.
Just looking up course, I don't know whether the PRO's seen this, that there's a slow-moving barge getting pushed across the middle of the track. Just
There
over
is,
near
no, you're
Tara.
right there, Jimmy.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be able to avoid that, Jimmy.
I bet you I know a few boats that'll. It'll be like like one of those mozzie things in the fish and chip shop.
Yeah, it's like a drink station, a midpoint drink station.
It's pretty low profile, though.
Yeah.
While they're concentrating, they might not pick that. Wonder where he's off to, Jimmy.
His current
He might
heading might be
at the moment, he
the
might be
runway.
going through the gate at the moment. Wonder if he'll take the left or the right gate. Coming down to 3 minutes. We've got a lot of boats on course side of the line. We are only under P flag, so no restriction as to them being behind the line with a minute to go yet. I'm thinking we might, with the conditions that we're looking at and the tide, etc., I'm hoping we might get a clear start away this time.
And this breeze looks all right too. We're sort of 15, 16, 17 knots still.
Quite patchy though, isn't it?
It is patchy. There's a few holes. You've got to stay out of it.
And looking at it, Clint, which you're still favouring the left?
Well, it actually looks pretty good straight up the guts.
It does at the moment. Pressure's in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's looking a little soft on the edges.
It is.
So it'll be interesting to see what the big guns do. There's the SUTEC boys. I don't like to play favourites, but I do like the SUTEC boys. They're good
Always
lads.
smiling. Always smiling.
They're good lads.
Speaking of a great sponsor, there's a great sponsor, yeah. Building consultants, Steve Bowen. He's not a bad bloke, old Steve-o.
Dubious family, though.
I was lucky enough to spend many years sailing with Steve-o.
You did won a few titles with that bloke.
Yeah. won a Keg Cup with him too.
That's the most important one.
Yeah, Barry Hodge, if you're listening, thank you, mate.
G'day, Hodgie. Hello, Saint, too. Saint, if you're out there, g'day, mate.
He's the new Hodgie.
Coming up to a minute 30, and looks like the majority of boats are looking at the top end of the line at the moment, but there's still plenty of scope for them to head on down further down the line. We do have the little, I think it's a little general down there, is it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So Lee Napton in the Noakes.
So the way that you can tell that Noakes is see the
hollowed out logo as opposed to a solid logo.
Okay, yeah.
A line logo, not a solid logo. Now he's driving around.
We go through the same thing in the 18s.
Well, thank you for Noakes for sponsoring 2 boats.
Three boats. He's got the Queensland boat as well. Inside a minute now, and we've got a lot of heavy hitters up the boat end here. So we've got at the bottom of the boat end group, we've got Moonen, Sutek, Eriks, Ace, of the good guys, and gee, we've got a lot of boats trying to cram in right at the start boat, including Tagara, Cunningham's Fire Stopping.
And again, Dole, the Noakes blue with the big rig.
Yeah,
like you want to see him, unless he's going to flop straight over under port and leg it out.
He's in a great position there.
He is, Clint, but if I was him, I'd be at the pin.
Yep. No, you're right, Dolly.
And his mentor, Whitty, he loves the pin. And he's in a whole world of pain with NHS.
He's just dropped into it there now.
He's just been buried.
Yeah, been buried.
Looks like a clean start to me. I'm thinking, yep, Phil West has just dropped the flag on the deck.
Thrown it on the deck.
He's thrown it on the deck. Great start from the Imey, the Southerly, Ace. They're off the line nicely. We can't see the boats at the pin end, which means they got out of there well. Dave O'Connor in the fluid has opted to tack out at the boat, looking like he likes the right.
Oh, he had a shocker of a start. He got buried off the start there.
Yeah, he had to bail out.
Yeah. Noakes Blue rolled over the top of him, and that was the end of him.
And we're seeing the majority of the fleet flop over here to get out of there on port if they haven't got a clear lane. So a lot of these boats that started up at the boat end, they've tacked out and they're looking for some clear air, looking for a lane. The boats at the pin end, they've elected to put the hammer down and head out to that left-hand side. We've got Southerly and Imey and Moonen sailing a pretty tight high line, while the boats who were right at the pin, which included Noakes and Sail Racing and Imagine Signage, they've put the hammer down. They're sailing a low, fast groove, trying to get to that left-hand side as quickly as possible, which originally was Clint's and my pick of what to do, but we'll see what pans out for this race. It's a different
looks like there's good pressure out here now.
There is, yeah.
I mean, you look at Southerly there, they're just blasting away. They're probably 5 degrees lower than Moonen and absolutely blasting.
Yeah. Sail Racing have elected to tack out. They're just taking a few sterns on the way. They went behind Imey.
And here comes Bella Group. They're a cleaning company.
But if you like, they can mow your lawns as well. Yeah. And Sail Racing,
they've gone back again. They obviously
there was a pack of starboard tackers there, and they were going to have to take a lot of stern, so they've elected to go back. SKE, they're sort of in the mid-pack, and they've elected to tack and get out of there. And here comes the aforementioned barge. Can we see that barge on screen?
Yeah, it's coming at us there.
He's
It's got buoys on it. Buoys.
and he doesn't
Buoys.
And buoys.
He doesn't know which way to go.
Yeah.
Hold us steady,
Just
mate.
hold
They'll
us
get
steady,
around
yeah.
you.
We've got the barge on screen there now. They would look like clearance marks or DPI
Exclusion.
fads, but they wouldn't be taking fads offshore in that barge, I don't think. Exclusion marks.
That's what they look like.
Yeah.
CJK going to have a rush across him. Good on you, lads. Pin the ears and go for it. So they're going. The Southerly and the Moon are still going out to the left.
Yeah, they're
Hard
going
left,
hard
hard
lefts. Yeah.
This poor bloke in the barge, he probably goes across here every Tuesday at the same time, and there's no one out here, and then turns up today and you've got 52 skiffs coming at you.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank the people at ABS Barge Marine Services for their...
Ozbarge.
Ozbarge, Ozbarge Marine Services for their cooperation.
And there is sponsorship opportunities available if they want to get in contact.
Yeah.
I think
Sure they're watching.
I think they do barges
Can't get that wrong.
and maybe cleaning.
Imey back onto port and charging. Imey looking good.
Imey's looking great.
If this right-hand side, if the pressure holds in and pressure and height, Imey and Swell are looking good of the right-hand group. Of the left-hand group, we've got Insight going for a look back. Oh, we just saw a close one between
close call, yeah.
Nozomi and Outback Marine.
Just not on screen. There's a Manly boat with a red cross on there, so we'll have to find out who that is, Dole. And
yeah, I'm not sure.
Give them some pointers. I think they may be the young guys from the 13s from Hornsby Ku-ring-gai sailing under the Manly banner. So maybe give them a few little pointers on what to do.
If anyone's paying attention to this, then go and see him in the rigging park. Good man.
So yeah, we're back on Imey again now, and they've taken our advice of putting the hammer down and going as quick as they can to a corner. And so far so good. That's looking good for them. And there's at the moment we're following them up this right-hand side of the course, and the pressure's really filling in here, isn't it, Clint?
It is. No, it's actually looking
pretty
better
even.
than last. Yeah,
pretty even across the course. We've got on the left side, sort of mid, we've got Skelcon and CJK you're looking at now. You can see Skelcon to windward of them. And then we've got the majority of that left-hand fleet, another, gee, it must be 200 or 300 metres further left. There they are now. So they've really banged that left-hand side, probably pretty much all the way to the ley line.
And who's out there again? Modern's way out there.
Yeah, we can see Southerly, Moon and Noakes.
Dominoes,
yeah. Southerly, I think, are in there. Yep, Southerly's in there, inside of tack back over, along with Dominoes.
But it's hard to see from this angle. But you know, like from here, it looks like they're overstepped.
Yeah, and we thought that last time, and it seemed that Red Pumps were probably the only one who might have gone a touch too far, but they ended up pretty much on the ley line. Red Pumps are in that group again. I think we've got both Red Pumps out there as well as Eric Storage.
Well, you'd think Red Pump's ready to be out there. I think Bruce is making a real point of owning the pin this regatta.
He's doing his best, yeah.
Like, there's no reason why you'd own the pin and then want to go right.
So the guys out on the right, though, they've got plenty of pressure. Like there's their bow waves, they've got good bow waves and stern waves coming off them.
Yeah, and it looks to me as that
they're ripping.
Looks like Tagara over there too, is it? Tagara and Fluid. So,
Yep. Cloud.
Yep. But at the moment we're looking at this left-hand group. We've got on the leeward end of the group, we've got Insight, we've got Dominoes stepped out in front of a few, but in the most windward position we've got Imagine Signage, Southerly and Moonen. There they are now. They're really well positioned. But yeah, you're right, Claire. I think they're on a ley line there.
I think so. And there's Modern there. It looks like Modern's giving dirty air to Southerly, which they will not be liking.
Is that Modern or is it Imagine?
Imagine.
That's Imagine, isn't it? Excuse me.
Yeah, Modern Concept just behind that group, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
Alongside with Noakes, yeah. So, yeah, they're sort of giving chase. Sail Racing in a leeward position there as well. So, sort of usual suspects. The guys are looking good on that side.
The guys out the right
are... money, the guys on the right, including...
hold your tickets.
Hold your tickets, folks. Hold your tickets.
The fluid building is looking very, very good on the right-hand side.
And how many times does that happen? Dave probably wanted to go left.
Yeah.
And he got
Tagged
boxed.
out.
He got boxed. He had to tack. He went out to the right, and he's come out all right.
I'm sure he'll tell you it was part of his race plan right from the beginning, Clint.
I'll freely admit there's plenty of times when it happened to me.
They are going to lead. Besides Tagara, Fluid and Tagara are going to lead this race by quite some distance.
Come on, Fluid.
Clint's getting excited, folks.
I am getting excited, all right.
Yeah.
Are you going to do like Craig Nichols and hold on to the boat?
No, I'm not. I'm going to say, go, boys.
You want your name on the trophy?
Yeah.
And they've judged this ley line impeccably. Just beautiful sailing from the boys.
And
That is awesome.
They've done a lot of work on this boat, I will say, these guys. Thank you very much. It's going to make my boat better when I get back to Manly.
Yeah, so there you go. Fluid building first around. Dave O'Connor, Fang Warren and Phil Harmer. And they're going to have probably a 15-second lead, I'm guessing. 20 seconds maybe to Tom Clout and the team on Tagara. Hear the cheers going up at the St George Club as we speak.
Well done, Tagara.
And next in, we're going to have a great comeback from Nick Connor and the boys on
Cunningham's Real Estate.
So they've stepped it up, Cunningham's boys.
And this looks good for Imey here.
Okay, Cunningham's around now, and then Imey next.
So that was a massive gain for the boats out to the right.
It was.
We picked that, didn't we, Dolly?
No, not this time.
Okay,
I
we
didn't.
did it. Okay.
But if you did, Clint,
No, I stayed quiet.
all credit to you.
Yeah, Imey next around. Then NHS with SKE Electrical, the two young guns from Belmont.
Joel Beechel on the NHS and Banjo Nicholson on the SKE. Quite a difference in rig dimensions there by the looks. NHS very small mainsail, isn't it? Short-footed.
So again, there was a win out to the right uphill, and the guys have gone the opposite direction downhill.
Which goes against everything.
It goes against it. It goes against it. You know, and interestingly, on the last race, I couldn't understand why no one was going down the right-hand side downhill.
Yeah.
But who am I? I'm sitting in the boat with the microphone on.
So we've got Imagine, Southerly, Swell, Noakes, Moonan. Oh, the Bartley's in the hole.
Bartley's in trouble.
Hang on to it, Bartley. Hang on to it.
Skelcon jibed early, as did Domino. So they're going to go over to the aforementioned favoured side. Clint?
And we're so good so far here. We've so good so far, getting in behind Moonan, which is great. Great sailing, guys.
Yeah, fire stoppings in there, Contender, Modern Concept. Stu Tech had a bit of a gaggle behind, and Eric's NFPG, Insight, and Pepsi Max.
And your new favourite boat next around, the Bella Group.
The fellow group, there they are. They're going to...
Bit of a better one from the Employment Hero boys. Oh, there's a bit of carnage at the top mark, folks. We've
The
got
fireball just came in, tacked right on the mark. The little blue dinosaur, nowhere to go.
they're in the water, actually. It's actually quite dangerous where they are right there. Guys ripping around the corner.
And fireball looks like trying to do their turns.
They maybe
Not the spot.
Maybe should have got a little bit clear of the fleet. They're going to go in the dear.
That's karma, unfortunately.
Gee, this back of the fleet, there's some tight action going on here.
Yeah.
So things will get a little bit noisy here for a moment while we...
The noise isn't too bad, Dol. If you put the old props on, you'd hear it. The new sexy little dance shoes the camera cat's got.
Jimmy's just going to open up the ponies and we're going to head down course.
So Skelcon, is it so? Yeah. What's a black spinnaker down to the
Tagara.
Tagara.
Yeah, that's Tagara Tom Clout just in front of Cunningham's. Looks like we've still got Fluid nicely in the lead, but get you down to the bottom of the course and get you some pictures. And there's just a massive line of boats going down the eastern side of the course at the moment. Literally nose to tail and super tight. Cunningham's giving chase to Tagara, and you can see Fluid with the blue spinnaker have just jibed, heading for the gate, and I'd suspect they're going to take the right turn. The other two boats are likely to follow them in, but Tom Clout selected to jibe drop here and take the left-hand mark, and actually not a bad option.
He's made some ground on Fluid there.
He'll probably he'll be first round the gate officially.
Yep, he's made some ground on him.
So Tagara first around.
And did Tagara take a more of a left hand downhill then?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they jibed out reasonably early.
So I'm not sure what Fluid will be doing here, but you'd probably keep a real close eye on Tagara.
They're gonna love us for just giving them a bit of
Wave action.
Oh, well, it's very minimal wave action.
That's the cost they've paid for us
For
talking them up.
to be famous.
Yeah. Big game here from Joel Beechel, NHS. So we've just had Imey go round the right mark. We've got NHS now taking the left mark, just in front of SKE. Jibe, drop. Oh, this is going to get messy.
Not pretty.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, baby did well there. He did well there. Right
Big
positioning.
fella. Yeah. That's when it's good to have someone.
A big lad.
Yeah.
Big lad in the middle.
Yeah. They got round just inside TTR Civil. Southerly and Moonen taking the right turn, Imagine and Noakes taking the left turn behind SKE there.
Speaking of big guys, Brett Davis, he's a big lad, but I tell you what, he's nimble around a boat. You wouldn't notice him.
Skelcott, really nice tight rounding there with Swell. Swell's going to have to ease up a bit here, otherwise they're going to come aboard. All good. Domino's Contender. Right hand mark, we've got Modern Concept Constructions. Left hand, we've got Sail Racing going to lead Sutec in around there.
And if anything, I think it's freshened in a little bit here, which is great.
Yeah, there's been a
Great
bit of
racing.
bit of a build. So far, so
Funny
good.
twist in the head of So Good's jib there.
Yeah. The guys will be North will be loving that.
Yeah.
The new Edsel there.
It's all about sales. Get it?
The dad jokes, here they come.
Another super tight rounding here. We've got Tribeca, Pepsi Max, Botany,
Everyone giving room.
Bartley going
Bartley
around
just
the outside. Oh, this is getting
This looks
messy.
like fun, we should join it.
NFPG, Rivcon, they're the smart ones. They hung back a bit and just poked it up the inside and stayed out of the mess.
Slashed it out.
Yeah.
Around the other
On the
mark,
other
you've got
mark.
Employment Hero trying to go uphill with a spinnaker half
Yeah,
up.
there's a knot in the halyard, folks.
I mean, they've all been very good round these bottom marks, though. They're giving each other room.
Yeah, not too
Room to
bad.
move. Yeah.
Bella Group got caught on the outside of Employment Hero there. CJKG, they're getting a bit untidy today.
Do you know who I have not seen is Red Pumps. Seen at Red Pumps Red.
Red Pump's red. Red.
Red Pumps Red are currently heading to the domestic terminal with their spinnaker stuck up. Something's gone amiss there with their spinnaker chute.
And that's the thing with the spinnaker chute too. If you've got a knot,
If it
tends
goes
to be
bad,
right up inside the boat too.
if it goes
Can't
bad,
get
it goes
to
bad.
it. Can't fix
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
They've sorted that issue out.
CMG decided to create a bit of a hazard in
I
that
reckon
bottom mark.
Manflu might join them
Manflu
here.
look like they're going to run straight over the rig there.
Oh,
no.
dear.
That's trouble brewing there. Yeah, he's going straight over that rig. Just lift up the centreboard.
There you go.
That's a CMG Manflu sandwich.
That's a party there.
Now,
Who bought the lollies?
now you're right, Jimmy. I was looking at the red spinnaker up there, thinking it may have been
It's a white hole, I
red
think,
pups,
isn't it?
but it's
Dom?
not them. And yeah, they're nowhere to be seen. If anyone is on shore and knows what's going on with the
started
red
here with
pups,
Noakes and oh god, that was close.
if someone knows what's going on,
Little blue dinosaurs like playing bumper cars out here today.
Good way to get to know everyone, right?
Yeah, look, it is. It's nice and
That or
friendly.
get Dodds to steer the boat, one or the other. That's how you get to
So,
know
Jimmy,
everyone.
there is a few skippers around that are a little bit bumper bar-ish, aren't they? They, dodge them cars.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hit first, ask questions later.
but the racing this week is so close. It's that tight, It's no surprise. There's a bit of Rubbings racing out here. Because, the rounding marks, what was that one? Like 7 abreast, wasn't it?
You sort of got to expect it, haven't you?
Yeah. And hope
There's the Queenslanders on screen, Clint, and the Noakes Sunshine.
They're nice and relaxed, the Queenslanders.
Always are.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And what was that old boat?
I reckon you'll find that was the old skill.
Old Skilled, I was going to say. That yellow, it sort of stood out.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Sunshine Noakes, Sarah Thorburn. There you go.
One of the Thorns, yeah. Alex Hart, is it?
Yeah, okay.
Alex Chittenden's right. Alex and Ryan Bellingbrook. There we go, we're on again. Alex Chittenden's old boat.
That was the Vycobi, I believe. Is that right? Yeah.
Oh, that did very, very well.
So we're looking at the NFPG there, and you can look at the water there, folks. You can see we've just had a little bit of a bump in breeze strength right now. The breeze has come back in. It's taken, looks like a little bit of a tick across to the pretty much due south at the moment. So majority of the fleet have gone to the right-hand side.
Yeah, they're working that south there now.
Which is the side that paid for fluid in that last fleet. We've seen the majority of the fleet go to that right-hand side. The only boat.
Yeah. And hopefully we get up to the 13s here. They look like they're just about to go around the top mark. Is that Evex? Evex potentially leading there.
They rip it away.
Yep. Evex, then Salvelia.
The mighty Reactors, mate.
Followed by the Harkin.
Yep.
And then Cybertech.
You can see how quickly these 13-foot skiffs get up to pace. The little boats, not much on them. When they go, they go. They're actually quite a handful in a blow.
Well, often at Manly, Clint, when racing got called off, you'd always grab a 13 and go out and donate a new rig to someone.
I did.
Inevitably.
I'll never forget going out with Bernie Kerr one day. It was about 35 knots, and I said to Bernie, whatever you do not let it go. And he let it go, and the mast came back in 2 pieces.
And there was about 100 people on the deck
There
watching.
was cheering.
Yeah.
Cheering. Yeah. Yeah. Cybertech.
Cybertech there.
Right, yep.
Yeah. Cybertech on screen. There.
yep.
Plonk and
Giving
almost
chase.
right up the back door
Cybertech are
of
right in there.
Cheeky here.
So that's the kitchen maker on screen.
So
With
it's
Plonk.
And Cheeky.
it looks like fluid might have extended there on in the 16s.
Just see the fluid 13 go round the top mark, and then I bet you Sophie and Bella won't talk to me for the rest of the week. Look at where they're coming.
Yeah, it looks to me like they've got some sort of problem, a gear problem of some kind, because the boat doesn't look like it's getting through the water very well at the moment.
It's a tight fleet on the 13s, aren't they? Like
there's our leaders just approaching the top mark.
So they went round together at the bottom mark, and Fluid obviously had a very good work. I noticed Phil had time there just to, wipe his nose. He wasn't straight in at the chute. Obviously very relaxed.
Yeah, jeepers. They are looking very good, and Tom Clout in Tagara is managing to hang on to second place, leading in from Nick Connors Cunningham. So there's a couple of crews here that are going to be very happy after this race if they can maintain these positions.
Yeah, a very good race for the Tagara. 3, 2, 1. Bit on the halyard, but a great set otherwise.
A little bit to go.
And look, sometimes it's better just to get it up, get it going, and then you fix the other bits later.
Grab it in a jibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just went in and pulled it up just then. There's Cunningham's in third.
There's the big sausage. Look at him. He doesn't even leave the gunnel. He just arm over arm. Nick.
Next around is Imey, just coming around the mark now.
This will go up in a flash.
Yeah, what bunk shoulder, right?
Oh. Windward set, always the problem. Well done, lads.
And they're off.
Yeah. And the ever consistent.
Yeah.
Imagine signage. And that's the thing, isn't it? Consistency will win a regatta.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And they haven't had a race win, so, it's just goes to show.
Haven't had a win, but yeah, they kept it in there all the time.
And Sarah in Southerly once again, also having a nice consistent. She's only had one race outside of the 10, I believe. TTR Civic.
So TTR originally, the guys on that are from Illawarra.
Yeah.
Coming up the sale at St George.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Illawarra basically folded as far as a club.
The Skiffs ago, yeah.
And great for St George, because we inherited a lot of the guys came up the freeway. It's only a short drive, and good to have Phil and Rich and their enthusiasm that they put into the club and class, and have them as part of the St George fold.
Oh,
and professionalism. Rich Nardone's been around for a long time. So Sail Racing sort of sitting back in, I don't know, 13, 14 position. It's not really their breeze, do you think? Or?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Normally they go well sort of downrange with either rig, but they're certainly finding things difficult today.
Yeah. And like we said, it's a boat speed track.
Yeah.
If you're going fast, it's easy. You've got time to think. You can go the wrong way, and you still don't pay for it.
Yeah. Just looking at Moonen there leading out. These other two are just soaking some depth and going quick.
It's almost a carbon copy of the last race with Skelcon and Moonen going downhill, except roles reversed.
Yeah, Skelcon, they're starting to roll them here.
Get some wheels on them, definitely.
It doesn't look like there's much Moonen can do about it except
they're
drive out of there. They didn't really have a choice. We're going to see Noakes jibe as well and chase them down, and no surprise that Skelcon has then gone with them so to not let them get away. But yeah, just fantastic racing we're seeing.
Not on screen for the viewers. Fluid just going around the mark now. They've extended their lead massively over Tagara.
Yeah, it's been a good run. Just trying to get a time on that.
So yeah, we've still got. We're just with the chasing group for a moment.
Fluid's having a bit of a swimming practice there. The Fluid
13. Don't give people the heart attack.
The 13. I give myself a heart attack, Jimmy. So I'm thinking that they've probably got 30 seconds on them now. And the distance between Tagara and Cunningham's are fairly similar. If anything, Imey's put a bit into them.
So we've got Fluid around, Tagara around. All those boats holding station, and next round we'll have Cunningham's. They're going to take the left-hand turn while Imey takes the right-hand turn.
So I'm 100% sure these guys will be hard on the. They'll be riding off the compass, but they'll be just driving these boats as hard as they can possibly go.
Yeah, Sarah Lee jibed there, and she's in a bit of a cross with Imagine Signage, and Imagine Signage are going to take the right, and Sarah's going to take the left turn at the bottom. Good late drop on the southerly. We'll see how they go getting this away. They should be okay. A little bit late perhaps, but all good. All is good. There is a 13 capsized in their way at the moment, but at the moment they should get around them okay.
Won't bother them.
TTR Civic.
So the whole fleet looks like it's going to the right-hand side of the track now. It just depends on where they go. They go outside the chutes, or they decide to go under the chutes. Here's a good run in here. Good view of the boats coming into this bottom mark.
Yeah, once again, super congested, isn't it?
Yeah. And that's a great drop from the SKE. Well done, lads. Yeah, I think Scotty just gave him a high five there. Well done, Benjay. And it's great to see these young kids, like, they're just nailing it.
So Domino's, Noakes, Skelcon, Modern Concept Constructions from Moon and Yachts, while on the right-hand turn we've had NHS and Bella Group, followed by Eric's.
And I'd say Moonan's had a little loss down on that run, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'd agree, mate. Yeah. Sail Racing coming in while Pela Hay and Tribeca get a little bit up close and personal. They're trying to stay high so they can get around this capsize 13. Yeah.
You'd almost want to see one of the rubberised crash boats in there just to protect the young kids.
Sutek on the right.
Yeah.
Looks like the Fiji Water, is it?
Yeah, Fiji Water.
Fiji Water checking the water. NFPG taking the right turn ahead of Thurlow Fisher. And that's pretty much our lead group spoken for now.
What happened to my fire stopping? Have you seen them, Dole, or are they gone and joined red pumps somewhere?
But I can't see them at the moment, Jimmy, no.
Oh, there they are.
You got
Still going, just above Bartley.
Yes.
Managed to sail themselves back in this one.
Got to check out all the positions.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. Well, if Moonan can get a 37, he might as well check it out.
I haven't had that one. We better get that one.
Yeah.
No, I think they sort of only went halfway and tried to hedge their bets, and then they went a long way out on the right. I was seeing Ian Gas the whole way, so just for.
So just seeing what the access coming into the mark there. They've dropped back a bit for some reason, as is Bartley Construction.
And it was interesting listening to Graham yesterday, because obviously a very, a fabulous sailor, but very strategic, very tactical, sail the boats around you, as opposed to a lot of the culture in this class, which is we like going flat out, and when it's light and shifty, a lot of us are not that happy.
Yeah, like it is one of those things. Like, it was actually interesting to listen to how Graham approaches it compared to the way, as you said, the skiff guys, where we're just, especially us old sheet hands, it's just pin the ears back and go as hard and fast as we could, and don't think too much about it. And he actually picked each work really well yesterday for us and explained it through the commentary, which was really good, that we could pick the brain of a dual Olympian.
Yes.
And how they sail. Like, Graham hasn't sailed skiff like 16 skiffs per se.
Yep.
But 470.
Where it's a slower boat, and they're working off each other a lot. There's a lot of strategy. There's a lot in that compass. There's a lot of positioning, and it really shone through. And it was probably a perfect day for him to be out there.
It was good because, like, sort of examples of what he was saying were unfolding. It was like he had the whiteboard in front of him, and, hopefully the young kids in particular
are listening.
Take the time and watch that back and have a look back through the races and see how it unfolded.
Well, but a 470 Olympian, and who's leading the regatta?
The 470 Olympian.
Yeah. And
gold medalist.
A gold medalist as well. Yeah. And another 470 campaigner, Lee Napton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the boat that the people sail, it's like what they learn in that environment. Both of them, very lucky that they were both taught by Victor.
Yeah, well, when you combine those smarts with knowing how to sail a skiff fast, it's a recipe
for success.
Yeah.
Yeah, and interestingly, and I came from the Sea Scouts, and there's a big crew that have come from a non-formal area of training.
Yeah, indeed.
Whereas I know Manly are running, a fabulous program, do a lot of the sailing clubs, and they teach the kids about where to be, positioning, compass work, as opposed to us who just went, let's just go as fast as we can possibly go and have fun.
Yeah. Oh, yours is a Cinderella story, Clint.
How did we do it?
Came from Balmoral Sea Scouts to being a multiple national champion.
And I know we're not meant to mention beer, but it's the reason I did go over to Manly Skiff Club, because we heard when we're 18-year-old blokes.
This is a good fun place to be.
How good's this? They pay prize money, and there's a couple of beers in it. So
fantastic.
Fabulous.
And a bunch of good people.
And mates for life.
Yeah.
Rolfie's won, Ann's won. Our good mate Bart unfortunately passed on.
No longer with us, God bless him. But yeah, certainly a Cinderella story, your one, mate. Didn't come through the normal formal channels.
I'd always say, and I think I spoke at one regatta and said, we're not that good, we just work really hard.
Yeah, and you always did. And impeccable boat preparation always, yeah. So just looking at the
impeccable boat builder. We both had the same boat builder.
Oh, who was that?
Yeah.
Who was that good looking?
Who was that good looking bloke?
That's a great Andrew Dolly Davala.
Always. Ebix leading the 13s, and a nice, I'd say, comfortable lead over Cybertech at the moment. Who have we got chasing in? We've got the Kitchen Maker, we've got Sail Media, and Harkin. So it's going to get fairly tight. They're going to jibe Jimmy. They're jibing Jimmy. All good. Sorry, we're just
trying to get the drone
catching
down.
Drones while we're staying out of Skiff's way.
And you're doing a great job here, guys. It's, there is a lot going on, and we're trying to get pictures for you at home, and to do so, the guys have got to get close.
So Cybertech, second around in the 13s. So we've got James and Gemma Hopkins with a nice little lead heading down to the bottom for the last time. In first place in Ebix. Hello, Sean Lilly. Hope you're watching. Then Kobe and Theo in Cybertech giving chase is the kitchen maker and Sale Media, and then we'll have Parkin after them, and we've got the fluid around the top, and it's
Daylight.
It's daylight second.
Yeah. Looks like Cunningham's have made some big inroads, as have Sudley here though.
So they're just going to jibe and cover off down to this left-hand side, and that puts them down underneath any chasing opposition. We'll put them in.
Cunningham's
in good
in
shape.
second,
Cunningham's
and
have
I
gone
reckon
into second.
Sudley's
Sudley's gone into third. Yeah.
They have.
Tagara's
Tagara's dropped a couple of places there, and they're also under threat from Ivy now as well. But we'll just keep looking at the fluid belting down the track there. No wonder they jibe there. They have just hooked onto a cracking gust.
That's like Top Gun stuff, jet fighter stuff, isn't it, Dolly? They
sensational
are off
watch.
the mat. They are just going so hard.
Clint's getting a little excited here.
I've always
folks.
wanted to say that since I've seen Nokia.
Yeah. The fluid hasn't won for years.
Yeah, that's very true.
We're getting a bit excited. So they're off, and I can't see anybody catching them. Nick Connor around the top mark just now, so that's got to be probably 40 seconds, I reckon. But great job from the Cunningham's team. There they are.
Fine, love, life.
Clear,
Go Richie Cunningham.
clear second place. That'll be John Cunningham, not Richard. Next around we'll have Sutherly, Ivy, Tagara, and the ever-present Imagine signage.
So that's a big game for Cunningham's up that lead. And if Sutherland can hang on to a third downhill, yeah, it's going to be great for them point score.
Oh, Sarah is just having such a consistent regatta.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Oh, look at these jellyfish, my goodness. Honestly, folks, the jellyfish, I don't know if you could see them in our drone shots today. I know you could a couple of days ago. The jellyfish in Botany Bay here at the moment are just unbelievably thick. They are everywhere. Nice shot of the fluid giving chase over the kitchen maker. The kitchen maker, oh, it's a loose jibe from the kitchen maker, but they've managed to save it.
Yeah. That's great, great footage there.
They are sending it down to this finish line.
Yep.
And three very cool, calm customers, those three blokes. Struggle to find three more experienced sailors than those blokes.
And there's that Emax just about to cross the finishing line. Yeah.
It is Clint.
Looks like Emax are going to take the win in the 13s.
Emax have taken the win in the 13-foot skiffs. There we are now.
And we've got
So just crossing the line. We'll probably see them drop and jibe.
Cybertech hot in their heels. Just
well, the E-Beat should drop and jibe, but they're having so much fun. They've decided to just keep on going.
Just want to work uphill a little bit further on the way home.
tell you, these guys from Cybertech are having a brilliant day.
Aren't they?
Great regatta.
They are.
I don't want to put a mocker on them, but they are. Credit where credit's due.
That's the day you want, isn't it, Clint? Like a 1-2 on a 2-race day. You're more than happy with that. Get home.
Yeah, get
in one
home.
piece.
Yeah, absolutely. And a day off, so you're positive, confident going into the lay day.
So So next up we have got Cyber Tech with Theo and Kobe over in second place in the 13-foot skiffs.
Well done, lads.
And here they come, Clint.
Oh, I'm excited. That's the first win for Fluid in a while.
It is, mate.
Yeah. Well done, boys. Just had to get rid of the crew. Well, the steerer, is it?
The steerer. I'll stick up for you, Berkey.
Get rid of it's the steerer.
So yeah, Dave, Fang and Phil, that was a very well executed race. Next over, we've got Taylor and Tim in the Kitchen Maker.
They'll be ecstatic about that.
Third place, one of the father-daughter combinations.
And here we go. Sale Media.
Then we've got father-son combination, the Sale Media with Benny, our youngest competitor in the championships, and Father Darryl.
Fantastic.
Just managed to hold out Heidi and Orlando on Harkin.
Oh, this is a tight bunching coming in here now on the 13s.
So who have we got there, Jimmy?
1, 2,
We've got
3.
Plonk in front.
Plonk, then it'll be Black Cat, I dare say, with the red spinnaker.
Yep.
And then Cheeky.
So Cunningham's will take second, but we've got out of the left, we've got Imey, and out of the right, we've got Sudley. And I think Imey's put some time into them here.
They're coming in hot, but they're on Port Jibe. Coming in hot with no rights. Great job from Nick Connors Cunningham's team to take second place. They'll be very happy about that. And we're looking at a convergence of two boats here going hard. I think Southerly's going to take this, Clint.
Yeah, Southerly's got it, and Imey's got Tugara.
So we've got Sarah Lee, Southerly.
Will they jibe back? He's just going to run it here.
In third, Hugh Stoddart. Fourth, Tommy Clout and Tugara. He'll be fifth. Then we've got the ever consistent Imagine Signage coming in sixth place, Nathan Wilmot.
So now we start to get the results. We get our drop, our first drop in. We see where things are really panning out.
Yeah, and we're going to see some big changes today. TTR, great result for them in seventh place.
Fantastic.
They'll be stoked with that. And then Daniel Turner and the Moonan team.
And Skelcon.
And I'm really pleased to see this. We've got
NHS.
Yeah, young
It's
Joel
going to be
Beashall.
nicely done. Nicely done, guys. Nicely done. Just got to get across that line there.
They had a bit of a difficult start to the week, but they've pulled that one together for a good result. We've got
close one with MCC just beating Dominoes across the line.
Modern Concept Constructions have got that, and then SKE. Noakes, they're probably hoping for a little better than that, and they've just held out swell. You're looking down on Eric's there. They're fully lit up at the boat end, and they've just managed to hold out Rod Carter's Insight building. Next on the screen there, we've got Contender Sailcloth, and they've just crossed in front of the Bigfoot 13.
Must be a close little one here, Doc.
It will
Between
be.
these 3 or 4.
Yeah, they
we're
come
seeing
out
some
and
close
the winner out of this
See
will
what
be.
happens here.
Oh,
They're running. I
Peeler
reckon
Hay.
Lee's got it. Well done.
Peeler Hay, the veterans from Middle Harbour. That's a great result. For
that's
congratulations.
Tech and then Tribeca.
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to the Peeler Hay team from Middle Harbour. That's a great result for Mark and the boys.
The yellow spinnaker doll.
Yeah, the Botany Scaffold just managed to hold out Modern Concept Constructions.
And that Benny Brunnage is there.
Yep, Benny Brunnages in the Newcastle
NFPG.
final planning group. Then the Fluid 13 just about to cross the line.
Yeah, unfortunately I saw them have a swim
They
at one
did.
point.
A little bit of a whoopsie.
That would have been expensive.
Yeah. So Ace is coming in here now. They'll probably be a bit disappointed with this after the last race. But
And who did we talk up the first work? There you go.
I didn't. No.
We'll blame you for everything from tomorrow onwards, Clint, because you're not here to defend yourself.
That's right. Where's Milko?
So, Ace and then Thurlow Fisher from Drummoyne. And then it'll be close between Botany Access and Pepsi Max.
Yeah, looks like Botany will get the chocolates on that one. Pepsi Max are across. In the next group, we've got Employment Hero in a tight little tussle with Bartley. Employment Hero are going to have to either soak or jibe here. So they're coming in. Employment Hero are just going to pip them out at the pin end of the line, and they'll be pretty happy with that one. They would have been disappointed with the last one, so they're good. Beating Bartley there narrowly.
Still alive? Yeah.
And
Waterborne,
in the 13s will be next in there, having a bit of trouble.
Magic
though.
Marine, yep.
There they are, Waterborne Magic Marine.
And here comes fire
All the
stopping.
thing on.
So this result for fire stopping, I just wonder what it's going to do to their handicap. But I suppose they lost minutes, didn't they? Would have lost minutes from yesterday?
Yeah, I think it'll be the end of the blue jersey for this point in time for them.
Yeah. Wishard.
It's like the Tour de France here, isn't it? Yellow
Yeah, I
jersey,
know.
the blue jersey, the climbers jersey.
Got to figure out what we're going to do with the polka dot jersey, though, Bozo.
Yeah. Is that who's pushing, what uphill or?
Oh, maybe, yeah, but I thought we'd just get a white one and we'll take them out to paintball.
And I was looking at the wrong boat before. It wasn't the Employment Hero, it was the other one with the similar spinnaker.
Outback Marine, and then it's First State Lending just crossing in front of the fire
Just
stopping.
in front of the fire truck. And they will finish in front of the Employment Hero. And here comes the Bella Group.
Here they come.
We spoke...
Just the most talked about boat today.
So not their best race, but they certainly got some
some
publicity,
mileage.
didn't
Oh,
they?
God, they got some mileage. Yeah.
Their phone will be ringing off the hook.
Everyone knows them.
Yep. In they come.
Oh, they're coming. They're finishing hot too.
Yeah, they're putting on a show.
Yeah, well done, Bella Group.
Kamikaze there.
And here comes our Noakes Blue, the big rig. Didn't
Yeah,
pay
oh,
off. The breeze freshened in.
Yeah, I know, but jeepers, they must have had a swim.
They must have had a swim,
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't that far back.
No, they were not. Yeah.
Are they heavy on that boat? They don't look that heavy.
No, not that heavy, no.
So quite courageous taking the big rig out.
Showing some guts.
Yep. Good on them.
Rolled the
Yeah,
dice.
you're probably fine. Whitty came down and
Said, come on, you blokes.
sawed the little rig in half and threw it in the bin, right?
You're not using that.
Yeah.
Now get out there and sail in your thongs.
I was actually lucky enough, he took me out for a sail on the Scallywag just before they went to Hobart.
Yeah,
what a thrill.
Well, they didn't go to Hobart.
No, well, before they went out the door.
Get there. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did the same. Fantastic, isn't it?
Fantastic.
So it's you two that broke the boat.
Yeah, oh, well, Dolly was after me.
Yeah, I didn't touch the spinnaker pole. They did let me steer.
Yeah, no, it's amazing the power of those
It's
yachts.
a weapon, isn't
Oh,
it? Yeah.
it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 25 knots in that is a lot different to 25 knots in a skiff.
Oh, and interestingly though, talking to the guys, they were tuning the rigs. They tune the rigs very similar to the way we
skiff.
tune a 16.
It is, yeah.
Or a skiff rig. Yeah.
Now I've got no word on. We don't have red pumps out here, and I've got no word on what has happened to red pumps, but we hope everything's okay. They did put a new boom on the boat this morning after snapping a boom yesterday, which you might remember we were watching them come into the finishing. I said something's not right there, and we were thinking it was the boom vang or what was going on. The boom had actually creased and it buckled, and every time they pulled the main on, it just basically folded like a concertina. So
one thing I know, Dol, that as they approach the club, Tina from Manly will be marking them all off the list to make sure they all get home.
She will, and how lucky are we to have Tina? Absolute legend of 16-foot skiff sailing, and it's always a pleasure to have her around, and particularly the girls that are sailing 16s and 13s. She's like mother hen.
And a big shout out to the girls. It's Ladies' Day.
It's Ladies' Day. Hello, ladies.
All right, just to recap on race 5. In the 16-foot skiff, first Fluid, second Cunning Abs, third Southerly, fourth Imey, fifth Tagara. In the 13s, Ebix, then Cybertech, Kitchen Maker, Sail Media and Harkin. So that pretty much wraps us all up for today. And just as we're watching Fiji Water possibly going for another sample of the water. But thank you very much for joining us, Bozo. Always a pleasure, never a chore to have you around.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Really enjoyed it.
Dole, thank you very much. Have a great trip away, Clint.
It was an entertaining day.
So thank you very much. And don't forget, we're not here tomorrow. Tomorrow is a lay day. We are back Thursday for race 6 for 2:30 start. We are live from 2:10. And tune in, and we will look forward to seeing you then.